We are connecting and we are streaming on YouTube on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM. Tim, have you ever been driving around and actually listened to our 92.3 signal yet?
No.
You got to do it. You have got to do it because it is a very strong signal that can be heard for miles.
Really?
Heard for miles, yeah.
You guys drop. You seem to hold strong in the east, but going west is a little problematic
right.
on the AM side. I don't know if it's because there's another station or something like that.
It could be, and then you get the really strong Syracuse area signal.
Yeah.
That could be it. But with the 92.3 signal, I mean, no problems in Rome. I think there's a Rome station. Smitty, there's a station out in Rome that's 92.3, but that's the only time you won't get us is if you're right in the heart of the city, I think.
Yeah, it's 40 watts.
Yeah, so
somebody's they can light a light bulb too.
Yeah, somebody's broadcasting from their basement there in Rome. But 92.3 is a strong signal that definitely has an improved signal up as you go north, up 12, and also as you go a little bit further west.
Yeah.
So definitely a stronger signal, and if you haven't listened to it already, you should. Davey, I'm going to print the sheet. So if you wouldn't mind going ahead and grabbing that for Tim and I so he can have one and you can have one for yourself. But I will let you know that coming up in just a few minutes, we will talk to Tanya J. Powers because as you mentioned, that's Thursday's sheet, so we don't want to do that. Friday's sheet, here we go. We will be speaking with Tanya J. Powers at 6:30 roughly. In just a few minutes, she will be talking about something you alluded to today, and that's Flag Day.
Happy Flag Day.
Happy Flag Day to you. So the origin of Flag Day is...
So it was started 246 years ago, I believe, or 47 or whatever it is, and to really celebrate what Betsy Ross did, creation of the flag.
Yeah, and she did a good job, in my opinion.
Yep. Although the flag has seen many different
adaptations
to what we do today. It's kind of interesting. You think about the flag or whatever. We've become such a it feels to me such a polarized society or whatever.
It has.
That now, you fly the flag. You're not making a political statement.
Right. In some cases,
but in
some people think you are.
You feel you are. Exactly.
Yeah. So it's interesting because there was the different administrations yield different perspectives for the flag, right? So
exactly.
During the former president's administration, I believe that was when Kaepernick all the Kaepernick business was going on. Was Trump in office then?
Yes.
The Colin Kaepernick issue raised a lot of
red flags.
Red flags. I wasn't going to go there, but issues for people. And then there was the whole controversy with Nike, and then there was the Betsy Ross sneaker that was going to come out, but then Nike stopped that. And then I remember Rush Limbaugh had a whole campaign that was a "I support Betsy Ross" T-shirt, and it went to Tunnel to Towers Foundation. But to your point, yes, very polarized. And then when Trump left office, there was the big celebrations again, and the national anthem was a big thing again. So it unfortunately has become political.
Exactly.
But today we will celebrate the flag, the grand old flag, and Betsy Ross's beautiful creation.
One of the things that's kind of interesting is when the Boilermaker office used to be on Genesee Street. Well, what people don't realize is that area, and maybe it's all along Genesee Street, is like a wind tunnel.
Yeah, down in Bagg Square.
Yeah, so every single time we would put the flags out, the American flags out there, or whatever it was, within a minute, they were totally wound around each other. It was like such a pain.
Because you had to go out. You had to go out and fix it.
Keep going out and keep fixing it.
Yeah, so we will talk to Tanya J. Powers about Flag Day and its origins and how people are celebrating today. Also on the docket, Willie Waffle, our weekend movie and streaming reviews. He is always giving us advice on how best not to waste our time, right, or what we should see and shouldn't see. I want to talk to Irvin Lee today. This is an interesting topic. It's called, you've heard of, and I have to pull it up in my email here. You've heard of anorexia? Well, there's drunkorexia. Something to do with alcohol-related topics, so we will get into that with Irvin Lee. We very well may hear from Bill via the phone, even though it's his day off. He will be calling in for our free money question of the day, courtesy of Joseph and Andrew Habaika. And Davey is not in the booth because he is doing so. Oh, are you eating your donuts this morning? Is that what you're doing? No, he's just stepped out for a second.
I was running to the printer to print something up.
Okay, all right. Well, the phone's ringing there, but Smitty will give us a total of what we're going to have. Oh, he's putting up the three fingers for $300 today.
Ooh.
He has no fear of a bike, and that's very evident. We're also going to, we talked a little baseball, and we may do that again a little bit later in the program, but Tom Napoli is the owner of Hall of Fame Sports Collectibles. He will be calling in a little bit later this morning to talk about his big guest, his next autograph signing that's coming to the store. Yankees starter Clark Schmidt coming to Utica. And it's funny, right after we had kind of got the idea that it was going to be Clark Schmidt, and so I reached out to him. I says, you can't release it yet because I still got to iron out a few details, but it was right after he went on the IL. And I had told him, I said, he's on the IL. Not that that would change anything, right? If anything, it makes it easier for Mr. Schmidt to come to the store. But yeah, he said, well, yeah, he's coming anyway. So Clark Schmidt will be at Hall of Frames Sports Collectibles coming up a little bit later this month. We also will speak with Mayor Mike Galimi. Now, I wanted to talk to him not about any flags. Even though it is Flag Day, we might say a happy Flag Day, but we're going to avoid the topic of flags. Can you also print the Irvin Lee thing? We're going to talk to him not about flags, but about animal control, and we'll get into that a little bit later on. But right now, I do not want to leave Miss Tanya Powers waiting on the line, and I'm stalling because I have to make sure I know how to do the phones. Tanya, good morning.
Good morning. You did it. You got the phone line and everything.
Yeah, well, how about that on the first try, too? That's a rarity. So Bill is off this morning, and Tim Reed is our co-host. Tim, say hello to Tanya.
Hey, good morning, Tanya.
Hey, good morning, Tim.
We want to say to you, Happy Flag Day.
Happy Flag Day.
So talk to us a little bit about what the origin is. We were discussing what we think it is, but it's never official until Tanya Powers comes in and tells us that we're right or wrong.
Listen, I've tried to tell every person I was in a relationship with that is what they should be waiting on for me to tell them if they're on track or not, and none of them have believed this. So I really appreciate. Could you tell everybody that? That would be awesome.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you the recording of me saying that, and then that way you'll have it forever.
That's going to be my ringtone. If you could just also add Tanya's always right.
Tanya's always right. Tanya's always right.
There you go. That's my new ringtone. So, yes, today is Flag Day. It is the day that we mark the holiday. It's not a federal holiday, by the way. The banks are still going to be open. The mail's still going to run unless you've got like a rogue mail carrier who's decided to celebrate on their own and you don't get your letters. It's just an observed holiday, right? So nobody, like I said, the government offices are still open. But it dates back to 1777 is when it was, kind of started. It wasn't actually Flag Day until the 1900s, which is kind of interesting. There was a whole gap there. But on June 14th, 1777, that's when the Continental Congress determined, they were like, hey, we should probably have a banner of some kind. And they decided that it would be 13 alternating red and white stripes, 13 stars in the blue fields representing the original 13 colonies. It did not get issued as a proclamation of any kind until 1916 when President Woodrow Wilson did that. It was not until 1949 that President Truman signed the formal observance into law. So it was kind of, it was established a long time ago what we were going to have as the flag, but it wasn't actually put into some sort of written down official thing until, the early 1900s, which I thought was interesting because, like I said, there was there's a lot of time passed between those two things.
Well, I think a lot of it was the different iterations of the flag. We really wanted to make sure we get the flag right before we go declaring any observance of it.
Also, yes, and also, there was a whole big rift in the country where nobody could agree to stay in the same spot.
There was also
that little period of time. There was a lot of time passed between the official proclamation. There has been a lot of talk about flags lately, about how to put them up, how to display them. Yes. Every year on Flag Day, we kind of go through this list. One of those things is that you're supposed to fly the flag right side up. The only time you're supposed to fly it upside down is in extreme distress. I believe is the quote. That's what you're supposed to do with the flag. You're not supposed to fly it upside down unless there's like a true, real emergency going on.
Right, like Russia's invading. Russia's invading.
Like, yeah, some sort of big thing that is going on. Not just I disagree with the neighbors.
Yeah, okay.
That is sort of the because there is a flag code, and I'm not making this up. There's a flag code. Matter of fact, I believe it's nationalflagfoundation.org. I think is one of the places you can get a lot more information. There's a whole list of things. You're not supposed to wear it as a costume or like as a cape or anything like that. There is, but the flag patch, like on law enforcement officials and military service members outfit in uniforms, that's supposed to be there. That's okay.
Yeah, that's almost it's facing the other way, almost as to moving forward or advancing forward. We're talking with Tanya J. Powers from Fox News Radio about Flag Day. Tim Reed, go ahead.
So, Tanya, it's kind of sad because, Flag Day being the representation of our country, yet it feels like it's a holiday it's just marginally above, Arbor Day.
Yeah.
It really
excellent
is.
Point. Yeah.
It's kind of sad, but also maybe you want to send that distress thing to Judge Alito in regards to understanding the importance.
Yeah, I'll be happy to make a copy of this if he needs one. I'm assuming I would not be the first person to have done that by now. But I can also tell you though that if you've decided to ever use it as and July the 4th is coming up, so people will decorate a lot, with the red, white, and blue stuff. It shouldn't be used as drapery either.
Yep. Yeah, like don't put it as a tablecloth. Yeah, don't use it as a tablecloth.
You cannot do that. It should never be, it should never touch anything beneath it, the ground, water, anything like that. It's supposed to flow, like fly free. It's not supposed to have things, touching it underneath it. There's, like I said, there's a whole list of the flag code. It is quite in depth. If you've never looked it up, you might be surprised at some of the code. The flag police aren't going to come after you, but there are certain rules and regulations, so to speak.
Yeah, I think it has to be lit.
You can't fly the flag at night without a light.
Without a light, right?
Right,
illuminating.
Exactly.
It. Yep.
Yes, it has to be illuminated at night. There's many things that there are in the flag code. Those are just a few of them.
And then, of course, there are several veterans organizations and other organizations that I think on Flag Day will take care of properly disposing of the flag, which, Tanya, I'm sure you can advise us on how that is supposed to be done.
Yeah, there's when you're discarding a flag, there are different, when it's not in a condition that is fitting for display, right? That's what you should go by. It's how does it look? It should be dignified. It should be bright in colors. It shouldn't be tattered or anything like that. The preferred disposal of the American flag is to burn it. Like you said, there are groups that will have different things like that where they will dispose of your flag properly if you've got one that you want to replace or something like that. Those are around. You can probably just Google that and find out. But like I said, there's nationalflagfoundation.org has all that information about how to dispose of your flag, how to the etiquette, which like I said, quite a lengthy list.
Yeah, so that's the thing. You'll be burning it properly, not burning it in the street in protest of some kind. Yeah, there's the two big differences that need to be pointed out. Well, Tanya J. Powers, it's always a pleasure. We thank you. We hope you have a wonderful Flag Day and a wonderful weekend as well. Thank you as always.
Thank you. Thanks. You too.
Before we break, because I want to take this opportunity as the sitting in Bill's chair to stick to the breaks appropriately. So before we break, though, we do want to bring in our good friend, my dear friend, the lovely Ann in Rome. Ann in Rome, good morning. You're on with Tim Reed.
Good morning. Flag Day, and who is more patriotic than Donald J. Trump? And happy birthday to the best president ever.
Today is President Trump's birthday. I did not know that.
Yes, it is. 78 years old and 134 days before I could go place my early vote.
Well, Ann is probably the number one Trump supporter in all of the world.
You betcha.
So what do you think? We'll actually be talking to Ryan Schmelz with Fox News Radio a little bit later on in the program about this, but President Trump made his way to Washington for the first time since the big event, January 6th. What do you think about him returning to the swamp, as he would call it, and speaking to a number of senators and House members?
I think he's doing a great job. I think that everybody's realized after having bird brain Biden in for the last few years that things will certainly get better. We need him. This is a wake-up call to everyone. When you go out and vote, think about safety. Think about when you get your groceries, if you could afford them. Your new car, which happens to be the most expensive car, happens to be a grocery cart.
Yeah, oh, there you go. Oh, that's
Nice.
a good one. That's nice. Well, Ann, we always appreciate your honesty and your blunt opinions, and we always love hearing from you. Is there anything else you want to add this morning?
No, I just can't wait for 134 days so I could place my vote.
All right.
Have a good day, everybody, and happy Father's Day to all the fathers.
Ann, you're a darling. We'll talk to you soon. All right, that's Ann in Rome. Very, very excited about President Trump and the prospect of him being back.
I could just see her with her calendar, and she's Xing
Counting down
every
the
morning.
days. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was interesting, though, and we will, again, talk to Ryan Schmelz from Fox News Radio a little bit later on about it, but some of the what you would call not so familiar faces in support or showing up to hear or listen to President Trump, among them Mitt Romney, some of the definitely not a big fan of President Trump, but kind of to what Ann was saying, there is this idea of, oh my gosh, these are the two options that we have.
Right.
But I think when it break it down, I mean, these are the options, right? So you're going to have to pick a side.
Yep.
And, for some, they are saying, Trump may be this buffoon, idiot, brash, I don't like what he says guy, but, are you really better off? And then say, no, you're not better off. That's just a guy's. So you're going to see probably a little bit more, I think, of people that maybe weren't so favorable to the president during his tenure come in and support him now.
Well, McConnell, I guess, shook hands with him, which was, he
big
was
step.
Certainly against him. I guess he apparently in a closed-door session told Marjorie Taylor Greene to treat Johnson nicer.
Yeah. And he said something interesting about, I think the topic of abortion was, make sure to be smart when talking about it. I think regarding the issue, the fact that this is going to be a big issue or campaign issue going into November. So I didn't get to listen to all of his remarks, but just kind of looking at all the headlines of it, that was one of the things he said to his Republican colleagues as well, is be smart when talking about that issue.
Right. Well, it just feels like what anyone thinks, it just feels like the Republicans at this point seem a bit more in lockstep than the Democrats are at this point in regards to, and it's, here's the thing.
Because you have that divide in the Democrat Party now. I think that big divide is Israel and Palestine.
Right, exactly.
Where there's more of a united front on the Republican side there.
And to his, I'm not saying credit or whatever it is, it's a lot harder when you're in the governing position than the guy on the outside, because you're going to be the one that's going to be taking all the slings and arrows. Yeah,
because people are, whether people want to say it or not, when you go into an election, it is a referendum on your 4 years of performance.
Exactly.
100%.
Exactly.
And, also, one of the difficulties is, you constantly have these incidents where, the Juneteenth celebration, he's, everybody else is dancing around him, and he looked lost.
He did look lost.
Like,
it was
disturbingly lost. And it's sad is the word.
Yeah.
Because, I've never dealt with somebody, this is people talking to me about this particular situation. I've never, fortunately, dealt with anybody in my family directly that has been through dementia or Alzheimer's. But a lot of people say, like, that's my mother. I've seen that look in my mother's face, or that, and again, I'm not saying that that's what's going on, but it definitely is a concerning look. So,
and the problem too is that, that's the person, whether people agree that the Biden administration is making good or poor decisions or whatever it is, we vote for that person, right?
Right.
So we didn't vote for these other people that potentially are behind that person that are really making the decisions.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
They voted for
that person.
Yeah.
That is the one that is the one. So it certainly is an issue.
Yes. So we will see what happens. As Ann said, what is it, 130 plus days?
Oh,
I'll
she's
say.
going to call you right back if you get that wrong.
She's going to correct me on it. Well, I see that Willie Waffle is on the line, so that we can keep to some time here on the breaks and give enough time to our man Willie Waffle, I will take a break. And, I said I was going to be better about that, but now that I'm in the chair, I realize how difficult that can be. So we do have to take a break. Yep. But when we return, our man Willie Waffle gives us the weekend movie and streaming reviews here on your News Talk and Sports Leader, WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM. It's First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Replacing your roof isn't a decision you take lightly. You want industry standards met with affordable options and a crew who knows how important a sound roof is to you and your family. Dennis Padula & Sons Roofing is your hometown roofers with deep roots in our community. Padula Roofers specialize in residential roofing projects. They're a GAF certified master elite roofing contractor who keeps their standards above the rest. Call 315-733-1564 to find out more about their roofs for troops mail-in rebate. Dennis Padula & Sons Roofing, your hometown roofers.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Paid for by government.com.
Have you heard? A recent stash of 1904 Morgan silver dollar coins has been found. These gorgeous 1904 silver dollar coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck. This is a key date for silver dollar collectors, and only a limited quantity are available. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone interested in silver coins. Just call government at 1-800-222-1975, and you are guaranteed a mint condition 1904 Morgan silver dollar featuring the iconic O mint mark of the New Orleans Mint. The final year of production, but with limited quantity, you must call now. These 1904 silver coins are still in uncirculated condition. That is 117 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-222-1975. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-222-1975 now to secure your 1904 Morgan silver dollars before they sell out. That's 1-800-222-1975.
Paid for by government.com.
Have you heard? A recent stash of 1904 Morgan silver dollar coins has been found. These gorgeous 1904 silver dollar coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck. This is a key date for silver dollar collectors, and only a limited quantity are available. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone interested in silver coins. Just call government at 1-800-473-0982, and you are guaranteed a mint condition 1904 Morgan silver dollar featuring the iconic O mint mark of the New Orleans Mint. The final year of production, but with limited quantity, you must call now. These 1904 silver coins are still in uncirculated condition. That is 117 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-473-0982. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-473-0982 now to secure your 1904 Morgan silver dollars before they sell out. That's 1-800-473-0982.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
You don't realize how old he is.
Boom, boom, bo-do-do, yeah. Tim Reed in studio. Talking to Davey on a break. First News, Keeler in the morning on WIBX, 950 AM, 92.3 FM, and streaming everywhere you go on the free WIBX 950 mobile app. And we are very pleased to be joined right now by our man, Willie Waffle, who gives us the weekend movie reviews, streaming reviews, and tells us basically how best not to waste our time. And on the line right now is Willie. Good morning.
Well, good morning. How you guys doing today?
We're doing wonderful. Tim Reed in studio, guest co-hosting for me this morning so that I totally don't take us off the rails as Bill is off today. And we are always happy to speak with you, Willie. And one of the things that I think we need to talk about, this is something you're very passionate about other than movies and films and streaming, is the Joey Chestnut debacle.
Oh, my God.
Banned! He will not be on the stage at Nathan's hot dog eating contest for July 4th in Coney Island. What are your thoughts?
This is my favorite story of the week. The greatest scandal that has ever rocked Coney Island, my friends. Joey Chestnut is just banned from the Nathan's hot dog contest on July 4th because he's taken a sponsorship with Impossible Foods.
Ew.
The non-meat guys. The guys who make non-meat hot dogs and non-meat hamburgers. And this ran afoul of the rules of Major League Eating. That's right, the NFL of eating too much. Okay?
Is there a salary cap there, Willie? I don't know.
Well, no, I was surprised that he had a good deal here. Wait, they said he got like $200,000 to compete last year. Then he has a 4-year deal that was worth $1.2 million. and they're kicking him out. And then the truth comes out, my friends. Oh, it was kind of a work a little bit because the next day Netflix announces, yes, we are going to have our own hot dog eating contest, my friends. It will be on Labor Day, and it'll be a one-on-one showdown. Mano-y-mano, or really mouth-y-mouth. It's going to be Joey Chestnut versus his old rival, rising from the ashes, coming out from the cold.
Kobayashi. Wow. So this is that's an interesting thing too, because you have Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, Joey Chestnut, Kobayashi, and what the interesting thing is how far we've come as far as what kind of role streaming services play in our life, because now you're having live events, you're doing, series and other things. So Netflix really kind of morphed from that company that used to send you DVDs wrapped in paper every week.
Oh, in massive, massive ways. And streaming has been more and more getting into live sports and live events because that's kind of where it's at. I mean, cable television is basically surviving, and network television is basically surviving because of live sports. So everybody wants a piece of the pie. It's the one thing you can't predict. It's the one thing that draws massive ratings. And Netflix, and all the streamers, in the way that they can do a series that maybe wouldn't have the massive appeal of a broadcast television channel series. They can kind of grab these niches and get some attention and get that quick little hit of viewership.
Yeah.
And that's what they're hoping to do with this Labor Day hot dog challenge. That's what they're hoping to do with the Mike Tyson return fight. It's what they tried to do with the Tom Brady roast a few weeks ago. I mean, they're just out there trying to grab that audience just like everybody else.
Tim.
It's so funny that, Joey Chestnut takes this sponsorship from Impossible Meats, which is, it's probably, reading about it, is even less healthy than regular hot dogs, which are incredibly unhealthy. And then what we decide to do is jam as much of this as we can on 4th of July weekend, watching people do this. I do like occasionally a hot dog, but when I see that happening, not so much.
Oh, they dip it in water and down the hatch.
They're not really eating. They're just shoving it down. Now,
it's consuming.
This has also been my argument about Impossible Meats, and I'm not a scientist. I don't know anything about what goes into it, but my first thought was, my God, what are they doing to that to make it taste like meat? There's no natural combination of things out in nature unless you get meat and put it in meat.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. So the healthy lifestyle, quote unquote, that is veganism and vegetarianism. You may be doing more harm than good. So, as we always run, we never have enough time to speak to Willie Waffle, our weekend movie and streaming reviewer. We do want to make sure that we get in the movies that we want to talk to you about, but very quickly, Mike and Skyler, who is one of our regular callers, is very amped up about the possibility of a Lethal Weapon 5. What have you heard?
What I've heard is this is something that Mel Gibson has been trying to kind of develop for a few years. And I think the idea he wants to go with is that, now he's the old cop, and he gets the young cop. And it's been kind of a hard sell. Possibly they're going to go into production next year. But that's really all we've got. We don't have a studio involved. We don't have stars involved. I mean, Gibson, and I think Gibson's trying to avoid doing it himself. He could probably produce this movie and pay for it out of his pocket, but it's a huge risk. So, he's got to find other rich people to take that risk.
Well, I do love me some Lethal Weapon. I mean, even the third and fourth were good, but that's just me. That's just me. All right, Willie, what do you have for us in theaters this weekend?
Well, I mean, really, in theaters, there's just the one big movie. It is the big Pixar animated film Inside Out 2.
Oh, boy.
And, hey, the first one was brilliant.
Yes.
I really loved the first one. That was 8 years ago. And so what this movie is doing is trying to pick up 8 years later. Our little kid is now a 13-year-old Riley. She still plays hockey, but the puberty alarm has gone off in her head. And all the other emotions are very scared because there are new emotions moving in, my friends. Anxiety, embarrassment, envy, and ennui. And Riley's not having a good time handling these new emotions, as the new emotions are basically pushing the old emotions aside and ruining Riley's life. And now they all have to, like in the first movie, find some sort of peace. And, listen, I think it's so brilliantly done. The way they make these emotions come to life, the characters that they have. I mean, come on. Like Anxiety's played by Maya Hawke. A lot of people know her from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Embarrassment played by Paul Walter Hauser, who is a really great actor who's done a ton of stuff and really is so brilliant here. And the way that they kind of, picture how your brain works. You're going to see an actual brainstorm this time around, people. You're going to see her Mount Crushmore. That's right. The boys that she has a crush on. I mean, just, such wild kind of imaginative things like that. It doesn't have the emotion of the first one, but I'm at 3.5 waffles.
Wow.
I think it's a pretty fun story.
So what's what's an emotion that was evoked from you in watching this movie?
I think it would be happiness, my friends.
That's beautiful. And with just a minute left, give us Bratz, the documentary about the Brat Pack. What is this about?
Yeah, so this is on Hulu, which has quickly become the 80s streaming channel between the John Bon Jovi special and now the Bratz special. That's right. Andrew McCarthy goes around talking to many of the members of the Brat Pack from the 80s about their impact on movies, on culture, on the way that we now produce things for younger people in ways we didn't back in the 80s, and their anger, bitterness, and some happiness about being labeled the Brat Pack. It's like a big therapy session. I'm at 3 waffles. I thought it was pretty interesting.
So there you go. We have a 3.5 and a 3 waffle review from Willie Waffle, which is a rarity. I mean, to get more than 2 from Willie, it's a huge bar that gets set. So I think it's going to be an entertaining weekend for some.
I'm excited for House of the Dragon. I think it's this weekend. Right?
Oh yeah, tons of big stuff coming back. House of the Dragon. The Boys are back on Amazon Prime. Bridgerton, the final part of season 3 is out there. I mean, you can just sit down and watch streaming all weekend long.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful thing. Well, Willie Waffle, as always, we thank you so much. Never enough time, but we do appreciate you. Have a wonderful weekend and stay safe out there, as they say.
All right, we'll talk to you next week.
All right, Willie, thanks so much. And Don't be eating too many Impossible hot dogs. Please.
No worries there. No worries there.
Keeping it real. All right. That's Willie Waffle. And coming up, we've got more for you on First News with Keeler in the
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
The Catholic president will meet with the Pope. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That'll be in the sidelines at the G7 summit, where right now President Biden's holding talks with Italy's prime minister.
The Middle East, Ukraine, China, and migration are all expected to be topics of conversation in this bilateral meeting between President Biden and Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni. On Thursday, the U.S. sealed a new 10-year pledge to build Ukraine's defenses. G7 leaders also announced a new $50 billion loan for Ukraine, underwritten by the U.S. and backed by frozen Russian assets.
That's Fox's Madeline Rivera. Now, Russian President Vladimir Putin has just said that he would agree to a ceasefire if Ukraine withdraws troops from occupied regions and renounces plans to join NATO. President Biden also talked about his son Hunter, days after the conviction on charges of illegally buying a gun while being an illegal drug user.
I am satisfied that I'm not going to do anything. I said I'd abide by the jury decision. I will do that. And I will not pardon him.
And the president said he would not commute whatever sentence Hunter Biden gets. Former President Trump returned to the Capitol for the first time since the January 6, 2021 riot that got him impeached and indicted. He met with House, then Senate Republicans.
We're going to turn it around. We're going to turn it around fast. The polls are looking like they're very strongly for us.
It'll take weeks, but they'll finally start demolition today in Parkland, Florida, taking down an infamous high school building.
The campus is made up of many buildings, and while the school has been open ever since the 2018 mass shooting where 17 people were killed, this one building, called the 1200 building, remained off limits, with its bloody crime scenes left intact, shattered glass, bullet casings, and all.
Fox's Evan Brown. South Florida is taking a soaking, and that's led to flooding some streets and homes, and more downpours are forecast.
2 to 3 inches for Miami, and of course, that's the area that got close to 2 feet or 2 feet or more of rain.
Fox meteorologist Janice Dean, more than 100 people needed to be rescued from flooding from Miami to Fort Lauderdale, over to Sarasota and Fort Myers. America's listening to Fox News.
For anyone living with everyday aches and pains, there's a lot of things you can try. You know, tough it out, bite the bullet, grin and bear it. Or you can try something that has helped so many other people, Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients that addresses the inflammation where pain starts. And Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain for a short time. It helps reduce or even eliminate it all day, every day. Wherever you're hurting, your back, neck, joints, or muscles, in about 3 weeks or less, you'll see a difference and rediscover what it's like to feel better and live better. So if everyday pain is affecting your life, don't go with the mind over matter approach. Try Relief Factor instead. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor.
Police are under scrutiny in 2 cities. First in Kentucky.
Louisville Police Chief Jacqueline Gwynn Villarroel was suspended by the city's mayor, Craig Greenberg. The chief's handling of an interdepartment sexual harassment claim among the command staff led to the action.
Fox's Gernal Scott. In Arizona, the Justice Department says police in Phoenix committed civil rights violations.
A DOJ investigation finding Phoenix police discriminate against Black, Hispanic, and Native American people when enforcing the law and use excessive force, including unjustified deadly force. Detailing a pattern or practice of constitutional violations, finding the city hasn't properly trained 911 call takers and dispatchers, that officers use force against the unconscious, unlawfully detain homeless people, that some police shootings could have been avoided if not for officers' reckless tactics, and noting people of color often faced more severe offenses for drug and low-level crimes. The DOJ says this is one of 11 investigations into law enforcement agencies. Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stocks could drop. Dow futures down about 300 points. S&P 500 and NASDAQ futures also down the day after closing at record highs again. On the ice,
the Panthers are 1 win away from being champions. Florida defeated Edmonton 4-3 Thursday night, taking a 3-0 lead in the Stanley Cup final. The Panthers scored 3 goals in the second period. The Oilers came back with 2 goals in the third period to make it a game, but were unable to get the tying goal in the final minutes. Game 4 is Saturday night in Edmonton at 8 p.m. Eastern. Joe Morgan, Fox News.
They've just teed off round 2 at the U.S. Open, a major golf championship at the Pinehurst No. 2 course in North Carolina. Rory McIlroy will start playing about a half hour. He's tied for the lead at 5 under par with Patrick Cantlay, who will play this afternoon. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM news time is 7:05. I'm Andrew Derminio. Right now we have cloudy skies, 65 degrees. Your full weather forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by John's Mobile Home Parts and Accessories in Oriskany Falls. For all your mobile home needs, it's worth the trip. Go to johnsmobilehomeparts.com for more information. No injuries have been reported after a school bus was hit by a car in Cicero. According to state police, the North Syracuse bus had students on board when it was struck by a vehicle at a red light near East Taft Road and Northern Boulevard yesterday. The collision happened after the light turned green and the driver of the car went forward, causing the impact. That person was given a traffic ticket. 2 men have tragically lost their lives after falling into a manure tanker in Oneida County. Officials say the incident happened yesterday at Champion Farm, which is located in Kirkland. An initial investigation showed that one of the men tried to get out a piece of equipment that fell into the tanker, but he passed out and fell inside. The second person tried to save him, but also ended up being trapped. The men have been identified as 29-year-old Tyler Memory and 33-year-old Nathan Duty. A man is now facing a long time in prison after being convicted of murdering his mother. Yesterday, a jury found 45-year-old Daniel Chilson guilty of stabbing 74-year-old Leora Chilson to death inside the Van Buren apartment they shared back in December 2022. The victim was found dead by her daughter after she received a call from her mother's co-worker. Daniel Chilson could be ordered to spend the rest of his life behind bars. The Ilion Fire Department is mourning the death of Deputy Chief Lawrence Del Grigo. He passed away Saturday after a year-long battle with cancer. He was 59. Del Grigo joined the department in 1992 and went on to become a highly decorated firefighter. He was promoted to lieutenant in 1999 and to deputy chief in January of 2021. In lieu of flowers, his family requests the community consider donating to the Ilion firefighters. His funeral will be held Saturday at 10:30 a.m. at the Church of Annunciation, and he will be buried at Armory Hill Cemetery. And Stewart Shops is giving a special treat to fathers on Sunday. Stewart Shops is giving dads and everyone else the chance to get a sweet treat for a great price. The convenience store chain is offering 99-cent single-scoop cones to all of its customers on Sunday. Among some of the flavors that are available include Adirondack Bear Paw, Brownie Cookie Sundae, and Caramel Cone Crunch. There are also other food options to enjoy at their regular prices, such as pizza, subs, and hot dogs. It is 7:08. Your weather forecast is brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville.
Here's the latest for the WIBX Weather Center for today. AM showers, then cloudy and clearing up later on with a high of 76 tonight. Clearer skies and a low of 55 tomorrow. Beautiful sunshine, 72. Warmer on Sunday, mostly 76. And next week, get ready for heat. Temperatures will be in the low 90s. That's the latest. Enjoy the Father's Day weekend. I'm Mike Johnson for WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Right now, cloudy and 65 degrees. It is 7:09. Sports brought to you by IBEW Nika, 43 local contractors. Well, Clay Holmes blew the game yesterday for the New York Yankees, but they took 3 of 4 from the Royals. The final score, 4-3. In the finale at Kauffman Stadium, Clay Holmes suffered the loss after allowing 2 runs on 3 hits over 2/3 of an inning. Anthony Rizzo went deep for the 8th time this season with a solo shot. New York is now leading the AL East at 49-22 and will visit their arch nemesis, Boston Red Sox, for a 3-game set that begins tonight in Boston. So, Tim Reed, while I love you, buddy, we are mortal enemies for the next 3 days. I'm totally kidding.
That's all right.
The Mets captured their rubber match against the Miami Marlins after walking off with a 3-2 victory at Citi Field. Edwin Diaz earned the win after striking out 1 in a scoreless top of the 9th. J.D. Martinez went 2 for 4 with a walk-off 2-run homer. New York is now 4th in the NL East at 30-37, creeping their way back to 500, which you mentioned Boston's at 500, but in Major League Baseball, that's kind of right where you need to be going into the All-Star break and beyond. So they're working their way back to 500. They'll open a 3-game series against the San Diego Padres tonight in Queens. No easy feat. In other sports, wow, the NBA Finals and NHL Stanley Cup Finals have been less than exciting as far as competition goes. If you're a Panthers fan or a Celtics fan like Mr. Reed is, it's been exciting maybe for you. But both series now at last night, so that final score was 4-3. That puts Edmonton 3 games back in the series against the Florida Panthers. And I really hoped the Rangers were going to do it, but they just weren't able to get it done. And the Florida Panthers look like the best team.
Absolutely.
And here's some interesting news. The Jacksonville Jaguars secured their quarterback for the foreseeable future. It's so funny. Everybody's the highest paid player in the – well, not everybody, but you always have the highest paid player in the league until the next person gets their contract.
Exactly.
According to multiple reports, the team agreed to a contract extension with quarterback Trevor Lawrence for 5 years worth $275 million. $200 million will be guaranteed with $142 million due at signing. So the bulk of his NFL contract is going to be paid this year, which is crazy to me.
And was it a Vikings player or whatever it is that just had hit it a few weeks earlier, right?
Justin Jefferson is now the highest paid wide receiver in the league.
Yeah.
5-year, Davey, what is it? 5-year, what was his contract, his deal?
I believe $180 million.
Yeah, so he's the highest paid wide receiver, but here's the deal. Who's he gonna have throw the ball to him?
Yeah.
Sam
Darnold, yeah.
Good luck, Minnesota.
Yeah, said by the Green Bay fan.
Yeah, exactly. Trevor Lawrence is now tied with Cincinnati Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow as the highest paid quarterback in league history. One other sports story that I'd be remiss if I didn't discuss with you before we break is the Boilermaker 15K has filled up.
Yep.
You have charity bib left, which I actually participated in several times. It's a great idea that I think stemmed from you and your tenure there.
Yeah.
Several organizations will be given bibs to then give to participants so that they raise a certain amount of money in order to run with that bib. But I, for years, celebrated or helped support Citron. And I think it was you who told me, Andrew, you should really consider this, and it was an awesome experience.
Well, and it's interesting because one of the Citron participants, this Allie Morgan, who recently passed away. I think she was 33 years old or whatever.
Oh my gosh!
And she ended up getting a race. She was an amputee on one of her legs from cancer, and when she was much younger. And ended up getting one of those blade racing.
Oh yeah,
so she could do that rather than have to do it with crutches, and it was quite emotional. It gives you an opportunity. It does a lot of different things. Obviously, it raises the money, but it raises awareness for a lot of organizations maybe that don't always get a chance in regards to it to understand what they do. And maybe for you to make a connection in regards to what they do as well. So,
and there's a team element to it, right?
Absolutely.
So you were running with other Citron fund racers, as we call them, and so that's your opportunity. If you have not got a 15K regular bib, you will not be able to unless you're on the wait list.
Yeah.
You do have the opportunity still to join the charity bib program.
Yeah, and I mean, really, listen.
And the 5K, of course.
You just got to have enough friends that are, that you could put the hit on, okay, to raise the money or whatever. So you need like one really rich friend, or just a bunch of poor people, who are willing to support you.
Well, just throw on some old clothes and stand on one of the corners around here.
Absolutely, or an alcove as need be,
or right at the entrance to a highway, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely,
do your old panhandling.
We'll run for money.
Well, anyway, so we do have a somewhat full hour for you this morning. Before we break, I'll just let you know that we are coming up with Irvin Lee, who is going to be talking about a new phenomenon. I always enjoy hearing these new things. Drunkorexia, which is a take on anorexia. It's actually a combination of drunk and anorexia. Refers to a worrisome trend that combines alcohol abuse and disordered eating behaviors. Drinking on an empty stomach is never a good idea, but there is a term for it now. It's drunkorexia. We'll talk to a former addict who now leads a faith-based recovery program called From Beer to Bible. It's Irvin Lee. He's coming up, and we will try to did you make that contact yet, Davey?
Didn't go through, but I will try again.
Yeah, we want to try to speak to Ben Simons. I'd really like to know and get his take about what possibly happened with the town of Kirkland incident, a tragic incident where a 29 and 33-year-old, two gentlemen passed away so early in life, a tragic incident falling into a manure tanker. So we're going to try to talk to Farmer Ben about the dangers of manure and the odors that emit from that.
Yep.
And so we'll hope to speak to Farmer Ben this morning in addition to a number of other things. I keep forgetting to mention this during sports, and I promise I will get to it, that being the break. But I do want to mention that Councilwoman Samantha Colosimo Testa will kick my behind if I do not mention that Utica Little League held their championship game on Thursday, June 13th. Utica Little League team Parkway Drugs won the championship game. They are defending champions, winning 2 years in a row, not only the championship but the league as well by going 10-1 this season. The team is coached by Rocco Giaruzzi, Samantha Colosimo Testa, and Tommy Giaruzzi. The team was comprised of a wealth of talent and a team that worked together with hard work and dedication. We have Ajdin Lovic, I apologize if I butchered that name, Anthony Giaruzzi, DeAndre Priester Jr., Eugenio Gino Whitley. I never really have problems with the Italian names.
Yeah,
Go
exactly.
figure. Giordano Giaruzzi, Mello Testa III, Omari Satchel, Rocco Giaruzzi, Giovanni Holmes, Raniel Cheeky Emmanuel, Samson Lumpkin, Samuel Simon. The team won the championship game Thursday 15-5. It was an awesome season, and one of her proudest accomplishments is nothing really she's done for the city, but coaching those young men in Little League.
Did they have to go through drug testing being under Parkway Drugs?
I think it was free. It was just included in
just
membership.
Checking.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So congratulations to the Utica Little League, and we will speak to Samantha about that and other issues next week. Also, next week, I'll give a little tease. We talked about this yesterday, but the great Donna Donovan will be in studio with us Monday morning to talk about breaking barriers herself, both in her realm at the Utica OD and at the Onondagas.
Yes.
So
absolutely.
We'll speak with her next week. Coming up, we've got a jam-packed hour for you. We'll also hear from Bill, hopefully for the free money question, so stay tuned for that. First News with Keeler in the morning continues next on your News Talk and Sports Leader, WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Ready to hit the road with confidence this summer? Look no further than Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your one-stop shop for top-quality tires at unbeatable prices. At Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, we believe that safety and savings go hand in hand. That's why we offer the best prices up front on top brands including Summit, Nokia, Bridgestone, and more. With Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, you'll drive away with peace of mind and money in your pocket. Locations in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMSS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
The doctor's office that mixed up your files has your Social Security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info and last 3 addresses. Your info is in endless places that could accidentally expose your info to identity theft. That's why LifeLock monitors millions of data points every second. If your identity's stolen, they'll fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code CLAY at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Is thinning hair or a receding hairline making you self-conscious? Try Hair Grow by New Nordic. Millions of men and women around the world trust Hair Grow. With its patented tocotrienol complex, Hair Grow naturally reduces inflammation in the scalp and is clinically proven to promote new hair growth and increase hair count in as little as 4 months. Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start looking and feeling your best with Hair Grow. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com, or in stores at your local CVS.
Hi, it's James.
And Megan from Destination Kia. Every day people ask us if we see a really great deal to give them a call.
Well, everybody, here's your call.
More than 20% of Destination Kia's huge 500-vehicle Kia inventory has been marked with Super Saving stickers. Find a Kia marked with a Super Saver sticker and save up to an additional $1,500 in Kia bonus cash. That's right, you get the Destination Savings, all the factory rebates, and on Kias with a Super Saver sticker, save up to an additional $1,500. It's only during Kia's Super Summer Sticker Sales event.
And it's first come, first serve.
So zip down and get yours today.
Now that's kooky.
So go kooky for Kia at Destination Kia of Utica. Puppies and babies not included.
Example 2024 Kia EV6, STK number 24V0232. MSRP $51,965. VIN specific incentive. Offer expires 6/30/24.
The Utica Center for Development wants you to join the city of Utica's Independence Day Parade, sponsored by Master Vito Hyundai. Register for the parade, have fun, build a float, or just walk and show community support on July 4th. To register for the parade or to be a vendor for the 4th of July party in the park, sign up today at ucdevelopment.org. The City of Utica parades are brought to you by the Utica Center for Development, Master Vito Hyundai, Bank of Utica, and Save the Day Foundation.
Rodney Atkins, June 20th, 7:30 p.m. at the Stanley Theater. Get your tickets now at the Stanley Theater box office or online at thestanley.org.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
Yeah. First news with Keeler in the morning, WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM and streaming everywhere on the free WIBX 950 mobile app. Davey, call that guest at right away here. Irvin Lee coming up. We'll speak with him. He is a former addict who now leads a faith-based recovery program called From Beer to the Bible. He's had a lucrative career climbing the ladder at Fortune 500 companies, but was fighting a battle that no one knew of. His inner demons were slowly destroying him. Irvin had suffered from extreme alcoholism that put his business, marriage, and even his life at risk. He finally found sobriety by leaning into his faith. We will speak with Irvin in minutes about this new trend, a psychologist explaining the concerning rise of drunk orexia. And we do have Irvin on the line right now. Irvin Lee, thank you so much for coming on the program this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So first of all, tell us a little bit, before we get into the topic that we're going to be discussing today, which is this new phase or this new craze. I don't know if it's a craze because craze is something you want to do, but drunkorexia. Tell us a little bit about your story in a nutshell.
Yep. I spent 30 years in the alcohol industry. I've done everything you could do with alcohol. I marketed, distributed. I was a retailer on some liquor stores, and then ultimately I became addicted to it. I went to treatment, found Christ Jesus while I was spent 31 days in treatment, came back to the Lord, and I recovered 8 years ago.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. And now we steward a ministry where we help those who recover from drug and alcohol addiction through Christ Jesus.
You know, and in talking to people that I know who have battled this, and it was more of just a kind of lifestyle choice for me. It never really got to a point of anything too serious. But I'm now 2.5 years without alcohol, and I think it's the best decision I ever made. But in talking to a lot of people who go through this, it's about finding that higher power, even if it's not Christ. Finding some higher power for you. To try to battle your addiction is an important thing.
One thing that I notice, we don't edit our lives enough. Edit our lives enough. Meaning, is this substance, is this habit giving me unwanted consequences? And then what are the steps in the rhythm of living to eliminate it from my life? So I commend you for doing that.
Yeah, I just, I'm an all or nothing type person with a lot of things lately, and I've been, about a week and a half successfully cutting out my rolled gold pretzels. But that was the thing is just, there was no off switch for me. So it was just a situation where, I can't trust myself to not go nutty and have that terrible hangover every morning. So I'm just not going to do it.
Well, I'm proud of you. And let me say this very quickly. There are two things that are the gateway to addiction. One is alcohol, and the other is, this is going to sound funny, is social media in our phones.
Yeah, it's bad. You talk to people, there are people, and, the New York governor, despite her many faults, that actually tried to find some way to legislate this, although I don't think you really can, the plight of social media addiction for our children.
Yeah, you know what? It has reached epidemic proportions. I saw a group of young ladies at dinner. Dinner came, and they all took pictures, and all they did was scroll on their phone. They actually were there with each other, but they never had any community or conversation. It's really disturbing.
Yeah, and you see it a lot in not just young people, but adults, too.
Yeah.
Tim Reed.
Yes.
I think at some point in time we're going to end up with our necks are like flamingos, with this like constantly looking down at these phones.
Yeah, you're just going to be walking around like Quasimodos.
Exactly. I mean, it just and one of the things too is there's an age restriction to a certain extent in regards to dealing with alcohol or whatever it is. Yet we've decided, as far as social media is concerned, you can start as early as you want.
Yeah, as soon as your parents give you the phone and give you the account.
Exactly. You're at a time when your mind is so incredibly formulative.
Yes, and what we have also seen is then our young men and our young women end up seeing things like porn that they shouldn't. They say now the average age that a child encounters porn is 8.
Wow.
Think about what I just said. 8 years old. And you can't even understand what you're seeing, but they respond to it and they like it and they want to see it again. So there's so many things that's why I say these phones are some of the most dangerous tools that we have. And unfortunately, they are in most everybody's hands constantly.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, there are many benefits to it. I will say the internet has helped in many regards and in many ways, but at the same time, in some cases, many people may think it's done more harm than good. But the topic we have Irvin Lee on this morning about, he's a former addict who now leads a faith-based recovery program called From Beer to the Bible, is a psychological explanation concerning the rise of a new phase, drunkorexia. Explain this to us.
Well, that is when a person is binging, throwing up, not consuming calories, or working out obsessively so that they can consume all of their calories through binge drinking. And this is actually not new. I've been in the recovery space now for over 8 years, and I have seen the rise of this over the last 3 years.
Okay, so essentially what somebody's doing is, if you look at the disease anorexia or bulimia, anorexia is, withholding nutrients from yourself, not eating at all. And then, bulimia is either throwing up or giving yourself laxative or finding a way to force diuretic into your body so that you don't consume any calories. But this would be somebody that maybe is an alcoholic but doesn't want to have the effects of the calories on it.
Yes, so they want to drink. The goal is to drink their calories. And I'll go back to especially young women. There is so much pressure on them to be fit and to be slim.
Yeah. So they can look good on social media.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Yep.
There you go. One of the worst things that happen to us is keeping up with the Kardashians, because it has become an epidemic. They look at them and they look at their bodies, and they just don't realize all that is going on for these Instagram models and celebrities to look the way that they do.
Yeah.
And that is the pressure that is constantly on our young ladies. And the way they deal with it is, hey, look, I'm not going to consume my calories through food. I want to go out. I want to have a good time. So I'll just consume all my calories through drinking alcohol.
Yeah. Well, it's not the wisest decision. And, the effects of you on your body and your decision-making, I remember when there were the days that I did drink, I definitely did not feel as good if I didn't have something in my stomach as opposed to when I did.
Yes, and the thing that I see more than ever is we want to self-medicate, right? All ages. Yeah. A lot of people, there are estimates that run as high as a third of the population is or have suffered from or currently suffering from depression. And one of the ways to temporarily make yourself feel good and feel good about yourself, this, is to have a drink. If you're sad, have a drink. Well, what happens with alcohol is a depressant. Over time, you will become what? Depressed.
Yeah.
It is not the answer. It is not the solution. And if anyone out there is suffering, we can help you. You can find us at FromBeerToTheBible.com. We'll help you.
All right. Well, Irvin Lee, we really appreciate your time, your insight, sharing your story, and all the work you're doing for others who are battling the fierce battle of addiction. We thank you so much for taking the time, Irvin Lee. We appreciate you. Have a great Flag Day and a wonderful weekend, and a happy Father's Day.
Thank you so much. God bless you guys.
All right. God bless. Irvin Lee. Addiction, you never know when it's going to hit you. I mean, rich, poor, male, female.
It's equal opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
But, I think one of the things that he strikes on is in regards to talking about this, the depression piece. And I think a lot of it coming out of COVID. The lag problems of COVID are gonna haunt us for decades.
Correct.
And I think one of the things is that depression was basically fed on steroids
100%
during that
isolation,
2.5 years.
No socialization, especially people who lived at home. And I have to say, it may be a factor of my drinking habits. Going to a bar most nights just for the social aspect of it was because I hadn't found that person in my life.
Right.
And I can really say now that my fiance is the best thing that ever happened to me. She's a huge support system. I'm getting shockingly emotional talking about it. But, having her in my life has just been a huge change. And for a lot of people, they don't have that. So it's one of those situations where if you think somebody's battling it or you yourself are battling it, you can beat it. And it's an ongoing thing. It's not every day that it'll just go away, right? That's why people that are recovering from addiction, they say they're in recovery because it never really goes away. You can't beat it. It's always in the back of your mind trying to get you and trip you up. So for all those who are battling, we're thinking of you, and keep fighting the good fight. And for those who have successfully stayed sober, it's quite an accomplishment.
Absolutely.
So good on you. We are going to take a quick break here. First News with Keeler in the morning. Tim Reed is my co-host, doing a wonderful job as always. Thank you so much for helping me not to fall flat on my face.
Well, it's a hard job, but we work.
We couldn't have thought of a better person to do it. So Coming up, we will have our free money question of the day. Do you think Bill is ready to call in? We might have to have you call Bill. Davey, has he communicated with you how he wants to do that?
No, I have not heard nothing.
All right, so let's take a break. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and do a few things. And in that break, we will talk to Bill about what he wants to do. But we will have our free money question of the day, where Davey already has told me we're going to go for $300. $300 on the line for our first our free money question of the day for a Friday. And obviously, we'll have a special treatment for you, or a special treat, I should say, with Laundro Lottery. We've been playing all week with Mrs. Keeler for your chance to win an additional $150, or if you lose the $300, you'll have the chance at $150. But as always, you'll win our food and fun card from any of the properties owned by Garden Entertainment. We've got Babes, Cookies, the Tailor and the Cook. The list goes on, Aquavino, and more. So we'll have that opportunity for you coming up on First News with Keeler in the Morning on WIBX.
Step into the magic of the 2024 Glimmerglass Festival, where summer comes alive with the finest in opera and musical theater.
The Glimmerglass Festival is a world-class summer celebration of the arts nestled on the banks of beautiful Otsego Lake, just minutes from Cooperstown, making it an easy day trip from anywhere in the Mohawk Valley.
This year's festival runs from July 22nd through August 20th and invites you to immerse yourself in myth, mystery, and adventure with productions that explore the connection between identity and illusion.
From the timeless hilarity of Gilbert and Sullivan's The Pirates of Penzance to the gripping drama of Pagliacci,
celestial escapades of La Callisto, and intriguing mystery of Elizabeth Cree. Experience the magic firsthand.
The Glimmerglass Festival, a highlight of your summer experiences in the Cooperstown region. Hiking, kayaking, picnicking, and world-class opera and musical theater. Just a short drive from anywhere in the Mohawk Valley.
Visit glimmerglass.org to purchase tickets and to learn more about this year's festival. Then join us and see for yourself why there's no place quite like Glimmerglass.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team now. Whitesboro is a leading school system in central New York with 7 schools, 3,100 students, and a 92% graduation rate. You can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get pay that's based on your experience, great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro.
Aches and pains aren't trophies. They're just barriers keeping pros like you from getting the work done. You know this business can be back-breaking. All the more reason to partner with someone who has your back, like Clinton Tractor and Ferris Commercial Mowers. Ferris is about helping you finish strong and feel good doing it, with patented suspension technology that allows you to mow faster and get more work done in comfort so you can feel good tomorrow. Visit Clinton Tractor today or at clintontractor.net. Ferris, work hard, feel good.
America's infrastructure is ancient and crumbling. Crooked politicians pocket the funds meant to keep you safe and to power your home. Where does that leave you? In the dark. Or you could keep the lights on with a Grid Doctor 300 solar power generator from MyPatriotSupply.com. My Patriot Supply has helped millions of American families prepare for emergencies, and power outages are emergencies. The Grid Doctor 300 lasts longer and runs stronger. Connect it to solar panels, your car, or a power block or wall to charge it. Not only does this generator charge quickly, but you can use it while it charges. Multiple power ports mean no device is left behind. Run phones, fans, CPAP machines, even mini refrigerators. It's easy to use. Unleash power for all, from kids to grandparents. Protect your family with reliable power. Get the Grid Doctor 300 and save $50, plus get free shipping at MyPatriotSupply.com. MyPatriotSupply.com.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Oh, yeah. All right, First News Keeler in the Morning on WIBX 950, 92.3 FM. Andrew Derminio, Tim Reed filling in for Mr. Keeler as he's taking a day off today. Well-deserved.
Yep.
And it's a beautiful weekend on the way. I mean, how about this, Tim? We're going to have a little bit of clouds, maybe some rain and thunderstorms as the day begins, but things will clear up, sunny skies, temperatures in the low 80s, and then tomorrow and Sunday and into next week,
90s.
sunny, beautiful 90s Florida weather.
I know. A couple days ago, it was a beautiful fall day. And now here we are.
Here we are. That's the Mother Nature. I always tell people Mother Nature must have had an ex-boyfriend from Central New York that she had a bitter breakup with because she really likes to mess with us.
Yeah.
Davey, okay, so we're doing $300 for our free money question of the day today. We're going to take caller what? Make it quick. Make it a low caller because we're going to get right to this contest because I want to talk to Farmer Ben about this tragic incident. Caller 5 right now through the lines, 315-736-0186. 315-736-0186, or you can actually dial right through the WIBX 950 mobile app. We're looking for caller 5 for your chance to win $300 with our free money question of the day, and then a shot at an additional $150 if you win the money with our Landro Lottery with Mrs. Keeler.
Well, I'm glad Mrs. Keeler is doing it because if I told my wife she had to do it, we'd be having to look all over the place for clothespins.
Well, she has the big fancy dryer and clothespins.
I know.
Because there's nothing like that, the fresh airing out of the laundry.
Absolutely.
Well, that laundry. Sometimes we don't want everybody's dirty laundry.
The dirty laundry.
Yeah, don't air that out. But we do want to speak to Farmer Ben coming up around 7:45 to talk about the tragic incident that happened overnight or yesterday in the town of Kirkland. 2 young men falling into a manure tanker and passing away. What a tragic story. Not many details known at this time, but we do know that Kirkland police responded and got assistance from the Oneida County Sheriff's Office as well. Mercy Flight was involved, and unfortunately, both men pronounced dead at the hospital. So our thoughts and prayers go out to their families during this tragic time, but we'll speak with Farmer Ben Simons coming up on First News with Keeler about that. In the meantime, we shall. Do we have our caller here, Davey? Who do we have on the line here? Nina in Utica. Okay, so let's go to Nina in Utica. Nina, good morning. You're on with Tim Reed, Andrew Dominio, First News Keeler in the morning. It's your free money question of the day. How are you?
Good. How are you?
All right. So it is today is Flag Day. So we're going to give you a little flag-themed question inspired by Mr. Tim Reed today. He is the brainchild of this.
Good luck.
So if she wins the money and Habaika's mad, we're going to send him to you.
Exactly.
All right.
Let me turn off my phone.
All right. So, Nina, here's how this is going to work. You are going to get your free money question of the day. You have 7 seconds to answer the question. If you don't get an answer in before the buzzer, you will not win. If you get the wrong answer, you will not win. But if you get the answer correct within the 7 seconds, you'll win $300. And then Mrs. Keeler is standing by with her brand new dryer and her clothespins for you to possibly win an additional $150. If not, we've got some goodies for you. Are you ready?
I am.
All right. Nina in Utica for $300. The first flag had 13 stars for the 13 original colonies. Hawaii was the final star to be added or represented in the blue field flag. What year was it added? Ready, go.
Oh. I have no idea. 1959.
Oh, I can't believe how close.
So close. Unfortunately, you didn't get the answer in time before the buzzer went off, and unfortunately, you were 1 year off.
1960.
So 1960.
Wow, Nina, that is impressive.
Very good guess. Very good guess. Yes. Well, unfortunately, you do not win the $300, but we are giving you the chance with Mrs. Keeler. So let me figure out how to do this. I want to see if I can bring both of them in here. Davey, hopefully I don't screw this up. I just hung up on Nina. Nina, call right back. I don't know how to do this. Mrs. Keeler, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing fine.
Well, it's so good to talk to you. And we want to just say we thank you so much for giving us Bill, first of all. And second of all, joining us this week for this kind of addition to the contest. Is that Nina back on too? All right, I'm going to try. So thank you very much, Mrs. Keeler. We appreciate you tremendously. So I'm going to see if we do this. All right, we're going to lock in Mrs. Keeler. And I think I've got us both. So, Nina, are you on?
Yeah.
All right, Mrs. Keeler, can you hear Nina?
Yes, I can.
Wonderful. Well, my first mistake of the morning.
Wow.
And I
There'll be
recovered
more.
pretty well. Thank you. All right. So this is how this works. All right, Nina, we need you to pick 3 numbers between 1 and 30. And then Mrs. Keeler is going to throw those clothespins into the dryer, spin the thing, and hopefully you can win $150. So give me 3 numbers between 1 and 30.
4, 13, and 22.
All right, she's been preparing all week. She had those numbers at the ready.
Special
Okay,
numbers.
4, 13, 22. All right, Mrs. Keeler, if you're ready, throw them in and give it a spin.
Okay. See what happens. Maybe today.
I know. Well, she already helped one person win some money after the fact, so let's see if we do it again.
I love the merry music that comes out of the dryer.
Here they go. They are spinning. The pins, they are spinning. All right, so what do we got?
First number is 25.
Ooh, all right.
Second is 10.
Oh, 10. All right, one more chance.
Come on.
We need 4, 13, or 22.
Okay. 2.
2. Oh, all right. Well, Mrs. Keeler, thank you so much. It's been a lot of fun this week. We appreciate the heck out of you, and we hope you enjoy the weekend. And tell Mr. Keeler, Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you very
Thank you
much.
so much. We'll talk to you soon, okay?
All right.
All right. You have a good one. And Nina, thank you very much for playing. Unfortunately, we do not have any money for you, but we do have the food and fun card at Babes, Cookies, Taylor and the Cook, the Comets gift shop, UCFC gift shop, anywhere that there is a Garden Entertainment owned property or venue, you'll be able to take advantage of that. And we'll throw in a throwback WIBX t-shirt for you as well, okay?
All right. Thank you.
All right, Nina, you have a wonderful Flag Day and have a great weekend.
You too. Thank you.
All right. So, Tim Reed making Habaika, Bill,
Yeah.
and maybe not Nina, but Habaika and Bill very happy.
I didn't want
with the difficult question.
I didn't want Habaika having to dig up his communion money in the back lawn. So
That's a good point. Yeah, no, I think he's okay, but okay, so here we go. So Fred and Clinton saying Hawaii became a state on August 21st, 1959. Your caller, Nina, was correct. The question was not when did Hawaii become a state. The question was when was the 50th star added to the flag.
Right.
Either way, she did not get the answer in time. That's the big factor. You can have the correct answer, but if it's after the buzzer,
that's
no money for you.
Otherwise, you end up with Mr. Google helping you.
Yeah, which
We go a little
may have
longer.
been what was going on with Nina. We didn't want to throw her under the bus. But Davey, is that Farmer Ben on the line? All right, well, let's get him on the line. I'm going to take a quick break now before we speak to Farmer Ben. I want to get him on the line to talk about this very sad story out of the town of Kirkland. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll speak with Farmer Ben. But definitely a successful free money question of the day in the sense that Habaika is not mad at us. We shall return. It's Andrew Dominio and Tim Reed filling in for Bill. Of course, Davey is here as well. First News, Keeler in the Morning on WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Flag Day is June 14th, and the Frigo Agency and NYCM Insurance are celebrating with a flag exchange. Show your patriotism by flying a beautiful new American flag. Bring in your old, worn-out American flag to the Frigo Agency, 136 Clinton Road, Route 12B in New Hartford on Thursday, June 13th and Friday, June 14th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and exchange it for a brand new one. They'll handle the proper, respectful disposal of the worn flags. Don't have a flag? Just stop in and they'll give you one. While supplies last, one per household, please.
Let's face it, life can just get messy. John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation will take care of it for you. If you need help with clearing out your home or commercial building, John's Cleanouts will handle it. We understand sometimes it's more than just a cleanout, it's an accumulation of someone's life. We go the extra mile to do the job with integrity, and we're fully insured in the industry. Call John's Cleanouts and Property Preservation today and take the stress out of your mess.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Why do so many dogs suffer from weight issues, skin problems, messy poops, and low energy? It could be the popular dog food you put in their bowl each day.
Cody was sleeping a lot, wasn't playing.
She was very lethargic and not moving around.
Dry kibble just wasn't cutting it. That's why, after more than 45 years of experience of helping dogs make complete health turnarounds, veterinarian Dr. Marty created Nature's Blend. It's a freeze-dried raw dog food made with wholesome ingredients like premium meats, seeds, vegetables, and fruit. And once dog parents switch their pups to Nature's Blend, the results can be astounding.
She's got her energy back. She's running around like she did like 5 years ago.
Miraculously, she's just feeling all around better. She's like a new dog. Thank you, Dr. Marty.
Get your dog started today and save up to 54% off Nature's Blend. Plus, receive a free pack of our best-selling beef liver dog treats. Go to drmartypets.com/deal or text DEAL to 511-511. Text DEAL to 511-511. All dogs are unique. Your dog's results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
It's the ultimate summer sell-off at Carl's Wholesale Furniture Warehouse. Price cuts up to 65% off with nothing held back. Only at Carl's Furniture, New Hartford Shopping Center.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
First news, Keeler in the morning. WIBX 950 AM. 92.3 FM. I'm Andrew Dominio, in with Tim Reed, filling in for Bill, who is off today on a much-needed day off and well-deserved. He'll be back on Monday. To him, we say Happy Father's Day. And to all you fathers out there, we want to say Happy Father's Day for you, in honor of you. Yeah. So thank you very much for being a dad.
You know, Father's Day really suffers so badly because it is overshadowed by Mother's Day.
Yeah, right.
Let's be honest.
And rightfully so.
Yeah, absolutely.
And rightfully so.
That's why Mother's Day comes first.
That's right.
Because that's the way it is.
Correct. So we do want to go to, I believe, another father. I think Farmer Ben is a father. Farmer Ben is on the line with us this morning. Happy Father's Day to you early.
Good morning, guys, and how are you? And thank you for the Father's Day compliment. But as you know, it's kind of a somber day here in the farm community.
Yes.
Well,
I do want to, before we get into that, I just want to remind people what happened if they're listening in for the first time this morning. We're speaking with Farmer Ben Simons, who's going to weigh in on the tragic story of 2 men who tragically lost their lives after falling into a manure tanker in Oneida County. Officials say the incident happened yesterday at Champion Farm, which is located in Kirkland. An initial investigation showed one of the men tried to get a piece of equipment that fell into the tanker, but he passed out and fell inside. The second person tried to save him, but also ended up being trapped. The men have been identified as 29-year-old Tyler Memory and 33-year-old Nathan Duty. Our thoughts and prayers are with their families today. Farmer Ben, talk to us about the dangers of working around manure and maybe what possibly happened in this instant.
Well, so first of all, like you said, on behalf of the farm community, we want to send the condolences out to the 2 families, the Duty family and the Memory family. And then also the Champion Farm and their family up there in Kirkland, because as you guys know, and I've mentioned before, we're a very tight-knit community. There's only less than 2% of the population is actually farmers. So this has been a ripple effect right through the farm community as it happened. So, I mean, we all got to kind of step back and just kind of take a minute and think about what happened and wait for the full investigation
right.
of exactly what happened. But I can tell you that the moment that 911 call went into the 911 center, and it went out on the scanners, and as you know, most of the people that are volunteer firemen in the community during the day when everybody's at work are your farmers.
Yeah.
And so once they realized what they had for a call up there on the Champion Farms, it just phone call after phone call and text messages went right through the farm community as well as it did myself. And just the understanding that we're getting from the farmers that were there, because they all rushed there to help out. That's how farmers do it. When someone's down and in need, farmers just come running no matter what.
Yeah.
And so my just quick understanding is that there was a rubber hose that keeps the manure from splashing out. It's basically just a rubber hose that hangs down off a pump. And somehow that rubber hose came detached and fell down in the tanker. And the first fella went in to go retrieve that rubber hose. And with methane gas, you know that smell that we've talked about on your show?
Yes.
With Bill Keeler?
Yes.
Well, some of that is methane gas, some of that. And methane gas takes away the oxygen.
Okay.
So that's pretty much, we've got to wait for the full investigation, but let's put it this way. If it was on my farm, you do not get near a confined area where there's heavy odor of manure, especially on warm days.
Yeah, and yesterday was a hot one, unfortunately.
And we're not used to it. So we're just used to our regular practices of just jump in, fix things, and continue on, you know?
Yeah.
And then, like you said, the media is saying that then the second fella reached up in there and got up in there, and, of course, same thing. He lack of oxygen. And by the time everybody realized what was going on, here we are with the end result. And so, but it's no different from when a few years back we've had people do the same thing, pass away from silo gases. You know, these upright silos that you see that are all over the countryside.
Of course.
Well, when you're filling those with haylage and corn silage in the fall and in the summer like we are right now, the same thing. The fermenting process takes away the oxygen in the air around it. So if you're anywhere like inside of a silo or inside a confined area where there is manure like that, where there's not a lot of air moving around, same thing happens. It eliminates the oxygen, and you don't even hardly know it. By the time you realize, hey, we got to get out of here because of lack of oxygen,
you're probably passed out. It's too late.
Yep, you pass out. So that's kind of
what happened here.
What's going on, and it's a freak accident. But it happens more, I don't want to say more than we realize, but it happens in the Midwest with corn farmers. A farmer will get inside a corn bin where the grain is.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you don't think when your friend or your buddy or your working partner or your farmer friend is in there and he's calling for help, you don't stop to dial 911. You run to help.
Yeah.
And then before you know it, there's two of you.
Well, definitely a tragic incident, and unfortunately, we are running low on time, so we do have to run. But we want to get you in next week because we want to talk about a few other issues that we've talked to you about in the past, solar farming and the works. But I do want to say to you and the farming community, our hearts go out to you and to the Duty and Memory family. Farmer Ben, thank you so much for taking a little time out of your busy schedule this morning. We will talk to you next week.
Thank you very much. And then by then, hopefully, we'll have the investigation and we'll be able to get right into it, exactly how it happened.
All right. Farmer Ben Simons, you're the man. We appreciate you. And again, have a wonderful Father's Day weekend. Thank you so much for everything you do.
Thank you, sir. And you have a good weekend, too.
All right. Farmer Ben Simons, definitely a sad and tragic story. You just never know. You know, in being in manufacturing, we ended up with a lot of times when you're dealing with confined spaces, you got to be careful. Be very dangerous. All right. Well, we'll talk more about this on the other side. First News, Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Hey, if you have ugly, yellow toe fungus, you gotta hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside. Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflesh.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe and then it spread and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflesh.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflesh.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't...
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome, W295EI, WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
A surge of migration is not just an issue in the U.S. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. It is also a big deal in Europe, and President Biden has been talking about it this morning with Italy's prime minister at the G7 summit. The day after leaders there agreed to provide Ukraine with a $50 billion loan backed by frozen Russian assets. And President Biden signed a security agreement with Ukraine's leader.
This agreement accelerates Ukraine's integration into the European transatlantic communities.
But Russia's leader does not want that. Vladimir Putin says he'll stop the war if Ukraine renounces plans to join NATO and withdraws troops from occupied regions, which Ukraine would likely reject since it considers those regions Ukrainian territory. Pope Francis is also at the G7 summit and will meet with President Biden, who's Catholic. The day after the president told reporters at the G7
he will not commute a sentence for his son Hunter after the younger Biden was found guilty on 3 federal gun charges.
I said I abide by the jury decision. I will do that.
President Biden also repeated his pledge to not pardon his son. A pardon would wipe away a conviction. Commutation would lessen a penalty.
Fox's Jared Halpern. Former President Trump met with Republicans at the Capitol. House Speaker Mike Johnson tells Fox they're optimistic that he'll be elected again.
He said something's happening in America, and we see it. There's a demographic shift going on in all these different segments of the population.
The president told Republicans at the meeting Milwaukee, where he'll be nominated at the convention next month, is a horrible city. Asked about it on Fox, he said,
well, I think it was very clear what I meant. I said we're very concerned with crime. I love Milwaukee. I have great friends in Milwaukee.
Even more rain is forecast for South Florida, where 2 feet's already fallen in some areas.
Which left stranded cars, down power lines, and water in businesses and homes. Emergency responders in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Sarasota, and Fort Myers say they've made over 100 water rescues.
Fox's Dana Marie McNichol. America's listening to Fox News.
For anyone living with everyday aches and pains, there's a lot of things you can try. You know, tough it out, bite the bullet, grin and bear it. Or you can try something that has helped so many other people, Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a 100% drug-free daily supplement that helps your body fight pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor uses a unique formula of natural ingredients that addresses the inflammation where pain starts. And Relief Factor doesn't just mask pain for a short time. It helps reduce or even eliminate it all day, every day. Wherever you're hurting, your back, neck, joints, or muscles, in about 3 weeks or less, you'll see a difference and rediscover what it's like to feel better and live better. So if everyday pain is affecting your life, don't go with the mind over matter approach. Try Relief Factor instead. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4-RELIEF and save on your first order. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Fight pain naturally with Relief Factor.
A setback in federal court in Louisiana for LGBTQ rights advocates.
The expanded civil rights protections under Title IX were set to take effect in August, but that's now on hold due to the preliminary injunction granted by U.S. District Judge Terry Doty. Doty, who was appointed by former President Trump, called the Biden administration's new rule, quote, an abuse of power. His order blocks the rule in Louisiana, which challenged it in April, as well as Mississippi, Montana, and Idaho, who also joined the suit. The rule would expand the definition of sexual harassment at schools and colleges and would add safeguards for the victims. Title IX, which was passed in 1972, bars sex discrimination in education. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
A few days after a man in Kentucky was convicted on terror charges for joining and fighting with ISIS, A Minnesota man gets 10 years in prison for the same thing.
Abel Hamid Al-Mariam could have gone to prison for 20 years in the U.S., but prosecutors say he cooperated, so they recommended just a decade. He was a naturalized U.S. citizen who joined ISIS in 2015. He said he went to help fight the regime of Syrian leader Bashar al-Assad. His attorney said al-Mariam's wife died in his arms after she was shot in front of him by either rebel forces or an ISIS fighter. Al-Mariam said in court that he buried her, then surrendered to the Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces, which held him until the FBI returned him to the U.S. He pleaded guilty to providing material support to a terrorist organization. Jill Nato, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stocks could fall. Dow futures down more than 200 points. NASDAQ futures also falling the day after hitting a record high again. In the battle for hockey's Stanley Cup,
Here's Barkov. He scores!
Alexander Barkov netted what ended up the game-winning goal for Florida, beating the Edmonton Oilers 4-3 on ABC. The Panthers now lead the NHL final 3-0. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM news time, 8:05. I'm Andrew Derminia. Right now we have cloudy skies, temperatures on the rise, 66 degrees making our way up, just turned 67 degrees on our way into the low 80s. Your full weather forecast is coming up. This update brought to you by the new destination Kia of Utica on Commercial Drive in Yorkville. 2 men have tragically lost their lives after falling into a manure tanker in Oneida County. Officials say the incident happened yesterday at Champion Farm, which is located in Kirkland. An initial investigation showed one of the men tried to get a piece of equipment that fell into the tanker, but he passed out and fell inside. The second person tried to save him, but also ended up being trapped. The men have been identified as 29-year-old Tyler Memory and 33-year-old Nathan Duty. Our thoughts and prayers go out to their families and the Central New York farming community. A man is now facing a long time in prison after being convicted of murdering his mother. Yesterday, a jury found 45-year-old Daniel Chilson guilty of stabbing 74-year-old Leora Chilson to death inside the Van Buren apartment they shared back in 2022. The victim was found dead by her daughter after she received a call from her mother's co-worker. Daniel Chilson could be ordered to spend the rest of his life behind bars. The Ilion Fire Department is mourning the death of Deputy Chief Lawrence Del Grigo. He passed away Saturday after a year-long battle with cancer. He was 59. Del Grigo joined the department in 1992 and went on to become a highly decorated firefighter. He was promoted to lieutenant in 1999 and to deputy chief in January of 2021. In lieu of flowers, his family requests the community consider donating to the Ilion firefighters. His funeral will be held on Saturday at 10:30 a.m. at the Church of Annunciation. He will be buried at Armory Hill Cemetery. Clinton residents are urged to take down their bird feeders and secure their trash because a black bear was in town. Kirkland police say the animal was spotted on Utica Street. While spotting a bear out and about this time of year isn't rare, it should be seen as a reminder to residents to put away items that could serve as a food source for the bears, such as pet food and drip pans on grills. Authorities searched for the bear, but it has not been located. Until its whereabouts are found, Clinton residents are advised to stay alert. It was only last week that a bear was located in Whitesboro. And Father's Day is 2 days away, and Stewart Shops is giving dads and everyone else the chance to get a sweet treat for a great price. The convenience store chain is offering 99-cent single-scoop cones to all of its customers on Sunday. Among some of them, the flavors, that are available are Adirondack Bear Paw, Brownie Cookie Sundae, and Caramel Cone Crunch. There are also other food options to enjoy at their regular prices, such as pizza, subs, and hot dogs. It is 8:08. Your weather forecast is brought to you by Clinton Tractor, the leader in service. Visit clintontractor.net.
Here's the latest for the WIBX Weather Center for today. AM showers, then cloudy and clearing up later on with a high of 76 tonight. Clearer skies and a low of 55 tomorrow. Beautiful sunshine, 72. Warm around Sunday, mostly 76. And next week, get ready for heat. Temperatures will be in the low 90s. That's the latest. Enjoy the Father's Day weekend. I'm Mike Johnson for WIBS 950 and 92.3 FM.
67 degrees now under cloudy skies. It is coming up on 8:09. Sports brought to you by IBEW NECA 43, local contractors. We'll keep it quick because we want to speak to our man Jimmy Fela, who is the host of Fox Across America every weekday from noon to 3 on WIBX, and he is the host of Fox News Saturday Night at 10 p.m. every Saturday. We will speak to him in just a minute, but we do want to let you know that the Yankees, they lost because Clay Holmes blew a save. Devastating. There were 2 outs, 2 strikes, but the Royals ended up getting 2 runs to defeat the Yankees 4-3. But the Yankees took the series 3 games out of 4. Clay Holmes suffered the loss after allowing those 2 runs over 3 hits and 2/3 innings. Anthony Rizzo went deep for the 8th time this season with a solo shot. New York still leads the AL East at 49-22. They will face their arch nemesis, Boston Red Sox, for a 3-game series that begins tonight at Fenway Park. Tim, you and I, temporarily enemies. We're frenemies. Frenemies. The Mets captured their rubber match against the Miami Marlins after walking off with a 3-2 victory at Citi Field. Edwin Diaz earned the win, not his first win, the win after striking out 1 in a scoreless top of the 9th. J.D. Martinez went 2 for 4 with a walk-off 2-run homer. New York is now 4th in the NL East at 30-37. They're creeping their way back up to 500, but they'll have a tough road ahead as they have a 3-game series against the San Diego Padres tonight in Queens. I want to go right to our man, Jimmy Fela, because he is a big star, and we do not want to keep him waiting any longer than we have to. Our man, Jimmy Fela, our radio buddy, and he is on the line right now. Bear with us because Bill is off, and he let the kids keep control of the board here this morning. So welcome, Jimmy Fela.
No, and I'm aware he's off. I only agreed to call in because he was off.
Oh, that's why you've been dodging us. Oh, great.
Crotchety gambler. I don't have to deal with this. I'm kidding.
So, speaking of gambling, I think I may have heard it on your show yesterday that the betting odds for the presidential election have swung in former President Trump's favor. Is that correct?
Yeah, Trump is a 19-point favorite to win the White House.
Wow.
But Biden is still ahead in key places. The state of dementia. He leads. He does lead. So, it's not over.
Oh, boy, that Juneteenth video, it was just sad to watch.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that tomorrow night on my show a little bit, the TV show, but obviously we've talked about it on the radio. No, he's a mess. Even if you saw the videos yesterday of him at the G7, where the Italian prime minister has to go corral him like a sheepdog because you got the one that just won't keep up with the flock. Yeah, it's not good. And it's like, if you watch that, if you've ever seen that in your family, it's like we can make fun of it, but we do know what it is. Behind the jokes, we're making these jokes for a very specific reason. If you see a guy walk out of the bathroom in a bar and his shirt's tucked into his underwear and his underwear is sticking out over his pants, the bartender doesn't hand him another beer. He goes, oh, that guy's hammered. I've seen this before. And that's where we are. We need a good bartender to step in and cut this guy off.
Jimmy, I couldn't tell in the Juneteenth who looks better, you and your wardrobe or the guy that was dancing in the dress.
Yo, can I tell you something? So, I love that guy. I was telling Laura Ingram, if for people who didn't see it, the bearded black gentleman who is in a gold sequin dress.
Yeah,
I believe that was Beyonce.
It looked like Ike in a Tina dress.
It was
That's
something.
great.
Yes, this is the road flare we're sending up to the rest of the world. This is who's running our country. It's such an unserious time. Yeah, go ahead.
So, no, I think it's just every week you think what's going to top the news cycle this week, but this week was crazy with the Hunter Biden verdict coming out. I think some were surprised and some not surprised.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, man. The verdict itself, there was such a preponderance of evidence. What is surprising, I guess, is that the case happened because they tried to bury this. Don't forget, the prosecutor who was forced to prosecute him had also given him a diversion agreement that was not only going to make this go away, but it was going to absolve him of future charges, which is pretty fugazi. They were just actually handing him a get-out-of-jail-free card for anything, which tells you there is something else out there that would potentially need covering up. So that part of it is the people in the media who are treating this like there's an equivalence between Hunter and Biden, they, obviously they're, conveniently omitting the fact that Hunter's trial and charges were made to go away by a prosecutor who got caught doing it.
Yeah.
Trump was charged by a prosecutor who ran on doing it. So they were both political, but the reason Joe Biden can do the whole, the system spoke and we should accept it, is because this doesn't affect his campaign, doesn't take him off the trail, doesn't, divert his spending. Although Biden could use a verdict that would keep him off the campaign trail, right?
Yeah, he could. It didn't keep his wife from going from Delaware to Paris and back to Delaware, though. That was a nice pricey
she racked
flight.
Up the miles.
Yes.
Yeah, she likes the miles. She likes a jet-setting life of a first lady, obviously, and a lot of people who know Biden or are familiar with the situation say it's her fault that he's running again because she doesn't want to vacate this position, so she'll keep trotting him out there.
Yeah. So we're speaking with Fox Across America host Jimmy Fallon, also the host of Fox News Saturday Night, 10 p.m. On Fox News Channel. Tim, go ahead.
Jimmy, as bad as this one was for Hunter, don't you think, and especially for his father, the September trial where you're talking about federal charges on taxes could be, not only are the charges stronger in regards to what could happen for punishment, but talk about timing, like right before the election is
some other doors could be open
that
too.
Could be a hammer.
Yeah, no, and I hope it is, because the tax trial, that is the one with money. And money means, where did it come from? Who else got some? Why did you get it? How did you get it? That whole thing. So, yeah, it'll be a disaster for Biden. So, listen, I have not ruled out that they're going to pull him off the ticket, that they might use this week and the potential trial you cited as a justification to get him out at the election. It wouldn't shock me because, again, if they're down 19 points in the betting odds, which is massive, just so you understand, when Trump beat Hillary, she was a favorite, but she was favored by single digits by Election Day. This is like landslide material right now. So if they find themselves in this position going into August, they might as well take a shot with a fresh face. So it wouldn't surprise me. And, look, you guys saw that video of him on the White House lawn. He could probably be the lead in the sequel to Frozen. So if you put him in Frozen.
Well, Vegas knows all, Jimmy. That's the thing. And then I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the upcoming Father's Day weekend. You are America's dad lately with Lincoln making regular appearances on the show, which we enjoy in the form of sound drops and his appearances. What do you got planned for this weekend?
Lincoln is on Fox News Saturday Night this weekend. He's coming in to play.
Nice.
We're going to do like a one-on-one interview. And then he's playing a game called Choose Your Daddy, where we're quizzing him. It's funny. We're quizzing him on weird things celebrity dads have done, and he has to guess if it's them or me. And
awesome.
It's kind of nuts. Yeah, we're having a good time, man.
They always say you know who your mother was, but, the father... There's always a question.
It gets dicey. Jenny put up some numbers. I'll be the first to admit it.
Oh, boy. Well, anyway, we are so happy you took some time with us this morning, and we thank Smitty Davey for hooking it up.
Yeah.
We appreciate you coming on.
We need him back up here.
You got it done. No, you guys are the best. Listen, I promised Davey some feed pics of Judge Janine, so as long as we deliver them.
Listen,
he
if you
doesn't need
don't,
to know they're not her pics.
right. They just have to have a little bit of a tan hue. So
yeah, that's what it is. I find a homeless woman on the subway. I snap him and text him to Davey. He doesn't. Don't tell him the difference.
No, he won't know. All right, your secret's safe with us, buddy. We'll talk to you. We'll hear you at noon today, noon to 3 on WIBX, and watch his show on Fox News Channel Saturday, 10 p.m. Jimmy, we always love talking to you, buddy. Have a good Father's Day weekend.
Guys. You too. Rock and roll. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. Jimmy Fallon. There he goes. When we had the awful news about Rush Limbaugh passing away and his cancer, and it's like, we are all like, what are we going to do? There's just no replacement for Rush. And that's still the case. But I think what Jimmy offers is such a different show and an entertainment value that was entirely different that it works. And we're happy to have him in our stellar lineup on WIBX 950 throughout the day.
Well, I think, Rush was very polarizing, right?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
He was kind of like a Slim Jim. Either you love him or you hate him.
Right.
Jimmy's not that. I mean, he's certainly much more inclusive. So
All right, well, we do have to break because now I'm realizing in this chair how difficult it is to take breaks and keep to the schedule. So I have a new level of sympathy for Bill in that regard. But we do want to speak to Tom Napoli, who's the owner of Hall of Fame Sports Collectibles. We're going to talk to him next about the big Yankee starter that's coming to town June 24th. That is coming up on First News with Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Flag Day is June 14th, and the Frigo Agency and NYCM Insurance are celebrating with a flag exchange. Show your patriotism by flying a beautiful new American flag. Bring in your old, worn-out American flag to the Frigo Agency, 136 Clinton Road, Route 12B in New Hartford on Thursday, June 13th and Friday, June 14th from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and exchange it for a brand new one. They'll handle the proper, respectful disposal of the worn flags. Don't have a flag? Just stop in and they'll give you one. While supplies last, one per household, please.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Step into the magic of the 2024 Glimmerglass Festival, where summer comes alive with the finest in opera and musical theater.
The Glimmerglass Festival is a world-class summer celebration of the arts nestled on the banks of beautiful Otsego Lake, just minutes from Cooperstown, making it an easy day trip from anywhere in the Mohawk Valley.
This year's festival runs from July 22nd through August 20th and invites you to immerse yourself in myth, mystery, and adventure with productions that explore the connection between identity and illusion.
From the timeless hilarity of Gilbert and Sullivan's The Pirates of Penzance to the gripping drama of Pagliacci,
celestial escapades of La Callisto, and intriguing mystery of Elizabeth Cree. Experience the magic firsthand.
The Glimmerglass Festival, a highlight of your summer experiences in the Cooperstown region. Hiking, kayaking, picnicking, and world-class opera and musical theater. Just a short drive from anywhere in the Mohawk Valley.
Visit glimmerglass.org to purchase tickets and to learn more about this year's festival. Then join us and see for yourself why there's no place quite like Glimmerglass.
Lisa and Peter had wanted a bed where they could pick a number on each side and make it as soft or as firm as they like. They were from Utica and went to the local national store. They advertised them. They liked it, but they had heard my ad that said, compare the smart bed by Instant Comfort. Lisa and Peter came in. We put them on a Q9 King Flex head. We elevated Peter's head and feet, put the massage on low. He was a number 24. He liked his side soft. Lisa liked her side firm. She was a 42. She liked her head elevated higher, her feet a little less, and the massage on high. They were thrilled that it had a 25-year industry-leading warranty. They loved the fact that it had 45 individual settings on each side, and it was totally affordable because they qualified and signed up for the 5 years, no interest, no money down, and then they got a $750 prepaid card, our current promotion, to go spend on themselves for the summer. Go to mattressexpressny.com for locations and try the smart bed by Instant Comfort.
Are you paying too much for term life insurance? A man age 50 non-tobacco user can obtain $500,000 of coverage for as little as $110 per month. Level rate for 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rate for 20 years. If you're a smoker, there are great rates available for you as well. Call Term Busters for a quote. 1-800-908-7636. You're probably paying more than you should. Call 1-800-908-7636. Remember, call Term Busters. 1-800-908-7636. Sample rate for preferred non-tobacco rate class. Exam required to qualify.
Hey everyone, it's Lisa from Fit Body Boot Camp in Whitesboro and now in Clinton. Summer is here, which means it's time to really buckle down and stay committed. But I know the beach is calling. I'm here to tell you that our 30-minute workouts are quick and effective, so you can still have time to enjoy the sun and the barbecues with family and friends. Try us out for free. Start living your best life with me and my amazing team at Fit Body Boot Camp in Whitesboro and in Clinton.
If you're dealing with debilitating pain, it can take over your life. That's why ReviveUtica.com is the website you should go to check out Revive Softwave Therapy on Genesee Street in Utica. Dr. Tim Delmedico and his team have brought a revolutionary technology from Germany all the way to Utica, New York. It's an FDA-cleared, non-invasive, and drug-free treatment for chronic pain, inflammation, and joint issues. Whether you're dealing with neck, back, knee, wrist, arthritis, shoulder, neuropathy, or foot and ankle pain like I was dealing with, check them out. When you mention the Keeler Show, they'll give you a discount on Discovery Days, your initial consultation, soft wave therapy treatment, and they'll put you on a treatment and recovery plan and assessment that's right for you. Teams like the Lakers, the Guardians, the Steelers, the Nets, the Giants, the Cubs, and even Team USA is using the soft wave technology. It sends high-speed sound waves to the impacted area, which produces blood flow and directs your body's natural stem cells to the impacted area for natural healing. So give up the pain injections. Don't take the pain pills. Check out Revive Soft Wave Therapy. Their website, again, reviveutica.com. You can call them at 315-725-8427. That's 315-725-8427. Let the healing begin with Revive Soft Wave Therapy on Genesee Street.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
First News Keeler in the morning on WIBX. In studio, filling in for me because I'm filling in for Bill, is our man Tim Reed.
Back, Phil.
Well, you've done a wonderful job,
Yeah,
so we thank you very much for filling in this morning, as you always do. I'll be calling you in probably later in July, as I'll be having to take a little trip to handle some business, so we always appreciate you being available.
Glad to do it. I'm
Thank
an
you
early
so much.
riser.
So before we get to, and Davey, let Tom know, sorry to keep making him hold, but I want to take Ryan Schmelz quickly from Fox News Radio. Ryan, good morning. So this is a unique situation here, Ryan, because you know I'm a Yankees fan. Our guest co-host this morning, as Bill is off, is Mr. Tim Reed, who is a Boston Red Sox fan. Ryan is an Orioles fan, but we won't hold it against him.
Hey, listen, Ryan, I told him these Yankees better be looking over their shoulders, and I'm not talking about the Sox. I'm talking about the Oreos.
Exactly. Well, you know, we're not going to be able to buy our way to being the Yankees. So we've got
yes.
Okay, everybody's always typical argument.
I love proxy forces to use against the Yankees.
Wait, what happened here?
I use it this way. You know, the Yankees have the resources of the United States military, yet they're like, it's like we're going on almost 30 years without a World Series. So,
yeah. And they're mad if they don't win 162 games.
All right. What did I do? What kind of position did I put myself in here this morning? Let's change the subject. Yeah, I did. You're right. Big story yesterday was former President Trump on Capitol Hill meeting with Republicans, some in attendance, major corporation CEOs, but also some surprising faces in the crowd. Tell us about how it went down yesterday.
Right. So, I mean, this is like your typical Trump visit. And what I mean by that is, you know, he's meeting with Republicans, both House and Senate, behind closed doors for probably a total of over 3 hours. And plus, you also have him doing an exclusive interview with our Aisha Hasni. So it's a situation where, you know, a lot of news is made because Trump is somebody who makes a lot of news when he makes an appearance like this.
Yeah.
And so I think there were a number of topics, you know, Republican unity, his decision to endorse Governor Larry Hogan of Maryland, and then see Hogan reject his endorsement within hours after the news breaks about that. So this is something that was, you know, there's a lot of topics to cover. And plus, he also apparently made a comment about the host city for the RNC, which is Milwaukee, that did not go over well. But, you know, there's an argument that it was made out of context.
So one of the things that struck me as interesting was the attendance of Mitt Romney at both, I think, the closed-door session and his public remarks afterward. You mentioned Republican unity. Do you think that is something that came out of yesterday?
Well, we were one of the first to break that. Also, Senator Todd Young in Indiana, who is somebody who is not endorsing Trump. And when asked about this, you know, I believe this is right after the November election happened during the midterms, they asked, well, why are you not supporting Trump? And he says, well, where do I begin? And he walks away from reporters that day. So he was another one who ended up attending the meeting despite being a vocal critic. But I think the big takeaway from those meetings when it comes to Republican unity was how it seems former President Trump and Mitch McConnell have buried the hatchet in many ways. And McConnell was very optimistic leaving the meeting, and Trump was actually very defensive of McConnell in the closed-door meeting. Actually, according to what we've heard, he was blaming abortion for being the reason why Republicans underperformed during the last midterm elections, and it was not his fault, nor was it Mitch McConnell's fault.
Yeah. Well, it'll definitely be interesting, but definitely shockwaves post-verdict still as this election season is really just getting into the thick of things. Ryan, we always appreciate your input, even if you are a Baltimore Orioles fan.
Go O's, baby. Thank you. Have a great weekend.
All right, Ryan, you have a great weekend. Thank you so much. And we want to go to, I believe, an actual Yankees fan to back Smitty and I up here, Tom Napoli of Hall of Fame Sports Collectible. How's it going, man? Thank you so much for waiting. We appreciate it. How you doing this morning?
Hey, what's going on, guys? How you guys doing? Let's lighten the mood a little bit after the last couple callers.
Yeah, right. Thank you. Jeez. Well, you've got a very exciting guest coming to your store, and you've moved locations. You're on Oriskany Street West. Tell us who's going to be joining you on June 24th.
We have Clark Schmidt. He is one of the starting 5 pitchers of the current Yankee rotation. He's currently on the DL, but he'll be back in probably like 3-4 weeks.
Yeah.
And he's actually enjoying probably his best season so far as a Yankee. They drafted him back in 2017 in the first round, but he's probably enjoying his best season so far as a New York Yankees. Finally hitting stride, finally being where the Yankees thought he would be.
Yeah, and I think the big turn for him was, I forget who they were playing, what the series was, but I think, he was having some trouble early in the season getting past, he'd get to that 5th inning, that 6th inning, and then he'd start to fall off a little bit. But really, when he had that game where I think he went 7 or 8 innings and was having a strong performance, that kind of really opened up his performance.
Yeah, he's like I say, he's really been pitching excellent this year. And last year he pitched excellent as well. I think he was second in innings pitched, I believe, total innings pitched last year for the Yankees. So he's a workhorse as well. So, like I say, he'll be back in a few weeks, and we'll have him here next Monday. We're excited to have him. And actually, it's hard to bring in a current player during the season up here in Utica. It just happened to fall. Truthfully, we had him booked before the injury, so he was coming up here either way before the injury. It just happened to be that it coincided right around the time that they were doing the signing, so it actually worked out better for both of us.
So how can people get tickets, and what are some of the packages you have available as far as getting the opportunity to meet and get an autograph with Clark Schmidt? Tell us a little bit about that and how they get them.
Sure. So they can go on our website. It's HOFSportsCollectibles.com, or they could just stop right in the store. We're right in Utica. We're at 2150 right on Oriskany Street. You can do either or. We have, if you want to just get an autograph, you can get an autograph. If you want to just take a photo with them, you could take a photo with them. If you want both, we have both. The one thing I want to make people understand, because they get a little bit confused, you don't have to buy multiple tickets if you're not getting autographs. So let's just say, mom and dad are coming with their son, but their son just wants to meet him and get an autograph. They don't have to buy a ticket.
Oh, good. Okay.
They could just come along with them. So it's not an admission ticket where everyone has to buy a ticket to get in. It's just for the person who's getting the autograph. So you could bring your kid with you. You could bring your girlfriend with you. She doesn't have to buy a ticket. Obviously, she won't get an autograph, but the tickets are for autographs. So you could bring a whole family. The whole family can meet him. You get one autograph. And same thing with the photo op. So, like the photo op, you could have up to 4 people in the picture. So you don't have to buy a photo op for each person. So sometimes people who are not collectors, who are maybe just fans, your average collector understands that. People who go to a lot of autograph appearances, they understand it. But a lot of times just the average fan doesn't understand that. So I don't want to say, oh, geez, I got to buy 4 tickets. No, you don't. You just have to buy one, and the whole family can come. You just get one autograph. But you can all be in the picture together. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yep.
So, Tom, I'm assuming that you have cards or photos or whatever it is that are available for purchase so that people can get it signed?
That's a good question.
Yeah, we'll have photos, we'll have cards, we'll have yearbooks, we'll have baseballs, we'll have jerseys. By all means, you don't have to purchase something from us. You could, you could bring your own items, so you're not obligated to. But if you don't have something, say, geez, I don't have a nice photo, or I'd like to get a jersey, we'll have all that stuff for sale. The day of the event, we'll have plenty of it, so you don't really have to worry about, geez, they're going to sell out of this. We'll have plenty of balls, jerseys, photos. cards. We'll have plenty of things for him to sign that day if you don't have something.
Well, all right. Well, we're very excited about the event. We're congratulating you on getting a great grab. That's awesome, Clark Schmidt. We're looking forward to the event Monday, June 24th. That's hofsportscollectibles.com, or you can stop at the store on Oriskany Street West and get your tickets for the event. And we all are hoping he makes it back into the lineup very soon. Tom Napoli.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No.
I actually talked to his agent last week.
Yeah.
And he's actually doing a lot better than the initial diagnosis, like 4 to 6 weeks.
Oh, awesome.
They expect him to start throwing again during the All-Star break, which is really good. So
Oh,
it's
that's
not
awesome.
it's not as bad as they thought it was. So
all right.
he's feeling good.
Well, thanks for that update. We got the exclusive from Tom Napoli there. We appreciate it. All right, buddy. Thank you so much, and good luck on the event. It's going to be well attended, I'm sure. We appreciate you taking the time.
Have a great weekend, fellas.
All right, you too. Happy Father's Day.
Take care. Yep. Same to you. Thank you.
All right. So we do have to take a quick break. Let Mayor Galimi know we're going to be right with him. I do have to break. Coming up, we're going to speak with Mayor Mike Galimi, City of Utica, over this issue of the Humane Society, the ending of a long-standing relationship with the City of Utica and Anita's Stephen Swan Humane Society. The mayor having some honest words in a statement released yesterday about that ending of that relationship, but a positive note as well. We'll talk with Mayor Galimi on that coming up on First News with Keeler in the Morning on WIBX.
Don't overpay for your next mattress. Only Mattress Express has our brand name low price guarantee. When you buy a mattress at Mattress Express, if you see it advertised locally in the next 30 days for less, we simply refund the difference. Do not overpay.
Replacing your roof isn't a decision you take lightly. You want industry standards met with affordable options and a crew who knows how important a sound roof is to you and your family. That is Padula & Sons Roofing is your hometown roofers with deep roots in our community. Padula Roofers specialize in residential roofing projects. They're a GAF certified master elite roofing contractor who keeps their standards above the rest. Call 315-733-1564 to find out more about their Roofs for Troops mail-in rebate. That is Padula & Sons Roofing, your hometown roofers.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
I plan to rearrange my closet, but I stopped after picking the clothes up off the floor.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel's award-winning language learning app will help you start speaking another language. Start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
Comment tu t'appelles? Comment tu t'appelles? Vous êtes où?
Vous êtes où?
Babbel's bite-sized lessons make it easy to learn words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks,
"How's your French going?"
you can say,
Babbel est amusant et facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue. Et cela ne prend que 15 minutes par jour.
when you want to really learn another language, it starts with Babbel. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Ferris commercial mowers set the bar with racing-inspired patented full suspension and integrated cutting decks so you can go faster, cut better, and not get beat up. Ferris Experience Suspension. Take advantage of the best financing and prices of the year. Visit us at whitesfarmsupply.com.
We're the power and power equipment. White's Farm Supply.
The Utica Center for Development wants you to join the City of Utica's Independence Day Parade, sponsored by Mastrovito Hyundai. Register for the parade, have fun, build a float, or just walk and show community support on July 4th. To register for the parade or to be a vendor for the 4th of July party in the park, sign up today at ucdevelopment.org. The City of Utica parades are brought to you by the Utica Center for Development, Mastrovito Hyundai, Bank of Utica, and Save the Day Foundation.
Ready to hit the road with confidence this summer? Look no further than Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your one-stop shop for top-quality tires at unbeatable prices. At Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, we believe that safety and savings go hand in hand. That's why we offer the best prices up front on top brands including Summit, Nokia, Bridgestone, and more. With Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, you'll drive away with peace of mind and money in your pocket. Locations in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
There's no glory in getting beat up on the job. Aches and pains aren't trophies. They're just barriers keeping pros like you from getting work done. But Ferris commercial mowers at Clinton Tractor help you finish strong and feel good doing it with patented suspension technology. Visit Clinton Tractor today for a test drive and feel the Ferris difference. Or go to clintontractor.net. Ferris, work hard, feel good.
We are the leader in service, Clinton Tractor.
Keeler in the Morning invites you to connect with us through telephonic communication at 315-736-0186 or use the Call Us button on the WIBX 950 app. For additional contact methodologies, please refer to WIBX950.com.
WIBX. This is Keeler. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. Now back to the Keeler Show.
First news, Keeler in the Morning on a Friday, WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. Going into Father's Day weekend, all you dads out there, happy Father's Day. Tim Reed in studio as well. He's filling in for me as I'm filling in for Bill, and I thank him for doing so. Bill is off today. And we do want to speak now with Mayor of Utica, Mike Galimi, who's on the line right now. Mayor, thank you so much, as always, for coming on. There's a couple of things we want to hit you with, but we'll start with something that happened yesterday, the homeless encampment on Genesee Street. Tell us a little bit about what happened there and how you guys were aware of it and the end result.
Well, I mean, obviously we've had a lot of different complaints, but, I've been monitoring the situation myself, just walking up and driving up and down Genesee Street. Over the past couple of weeks, it's been a situation where the vestibules in the former, what's referred to as the Kempf building on the block next to Fort Schuyler Club, just so people know what we're talking about here where the scaffolding is, there were people living essentially in all of those vestibules. We did make the call yesterday to go down and clean it up. I called the prospective developer that owns the building, Bowers, let them know what was going on, tell them that we were doing effectively an abatement of garbage, trash, etc. And we cleaned it up. Now, obviously, that's not going to do anything to address the homelessness issue that we still have in our city and that, plagues our society. But we're taking an active role in making sure that it does not become a public health issue, which is exactly what I found and why we cleaned that up based on needles, the type of condition of the clothes that were laying around. It was definitely an issue. So it's cleaned up.
I guess one of the big things
as of
here,
now.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that allowed for that is this lingering project that doesn't seem to be making any progress. Have you spoke to Bowers about whether or not they're going to be getting things going on that, or what's the progress on their end? What was their reaction to you notifying them yesterday about this encampment?
One, they said, thanks for cleaning it up. I was like, well, that's appreciated, but
not really our job.
Something about it.
Yeah.
So, months prior, people remember there was broken windows in that building. There was broken windows in that building because homeless and just people who are addicted to substances were using that building to do things inside, whether they were homeless or not. I had contacted the, Bowers group and asked them to board the building up. They did. I'm trying to think of the timetable on that. I think that was actually when I was still council president. But now, essentially what I've requested, they said they will, they're going to now, close off those vestibules. As far as the development of that building, that's still an ongoing conversation. The public continues to ask why we can't take it back. That was not a URA property. It was not sold by the city. People ask why we aren't suing them, why we aren't, taking them to court. There are active court cases on those buildings right now. So, I mean, while Bowers does have multiple buildings in the city that are leased, for example, where the new, auto parts store, O'Reilly Auto went in, or the security building. Obviously, some of the buildings and developments they have are not only stalled, but nuisance properties. the city is taking an active role to do everything we can to both rein that in, clean the properties up, but then at the same time try to move those properties into a space where they can actually be developed.
We're speaking to Utica Mayor Mike Galimi, talking about the issue yesterday of the cleaning up of the homeless encampment on Genesee Street. Tim Reed is in this morning. Tim, go ahead.
Hey, Mike, first of all, congratulations on your election, or my condolences, depending on the day. But, wondering about that.
Well, it's funny. Tim, a lot of people say, how long's the term? And I say, wait, is it expensive?
So, Mike, I guess my question is, let's hope that this building once again doesn't get become infested with homeless and these sorts of things or whatever. What does it become an additional codes violation thing in regards to that you've put them on notice? Is there you're not doing this for free. I mean, you've got to bring in all the resources in regards to whatever it is. Where does it get itself to the point where these things have to be taken care of?
The answer is yes. The other thing is, let's make believe that building just was purchased and was in the condition it's in because it was being renovated inside, and it was a project that was going to be complete in a year. That same situation could happen and would happen, right?
Right.
So, the steps now are, they have to put up no trespassing signs. If there's no trespassing signs, now people can be ticketed for being in those vestibules. So there's some other things we could do in the meantime. The other thing I want to note, too, there were only a few people down there, which potentially could have been homeless.
Yeah.
Our police officers that were on scene, spoke to those gentlemen and asked if they were getting the services through the county, asked if they had access to the drop-in centers. So, I just want to make sure everyone knows we had to clean up a public safety hazard as far as I'm concerned. But, these issues are multifaceted. So, there's a lot of other things we can do, and we are. So,
all right. So, we thank you for addressing that. The other thing we wanted to have you on about, and we don't want to spend too much time on it because I know you're probably, like other topics, ready to move on from them. But you had some subtle but strong words for Anita's Stephen Swan's Humane Society yesterday. I believe you said they abandoned their mission to help dogs in the city of Utica. Talk about, just kind of give some final thoughts on this situation. You've already undergone a new endeavor with another organization out of Canastota, Wanderers Rest. Talk about what it's been like since February 15th and kind of how you came to this spot here.
Well, so it's not just Wanderers Rest. They're now our contracted Article 7 shelter, so that we can, have that, under state law. We're working with, contracted veterinarian care. We now are properly utilizing our own services with animal control, where we're constructing a proper kennel hold facility. We're taking this to the next level as a whole. So let's talk about the strong words, right? We included that in the update on how we have been doing with animal control, because we have had both countless phone calls and emails, but also social media, messages and public posts about the fact that we have walked away from, Anita's, and it's not the case. We had to make a decision here. So let's talk about from February 15th till now. The reality is, hundreds of thousands of dollars of ARPA money were invested into Anita's. We did have, an uptick in yearly cost. It went from $120 to $250 a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Mayor Paul Mary did fund them at the $250, the full $250 last year, under the direction of the council's budget. And as of February 15th, they ran out of funds, the way they accounted for it, and said that we no longer can take animals. Now, the reason we used the words abandon their mission was this. If you want to stop taking animals from our animal control officers, our police officers, our city as a municipality, fine. And whether that was part of a negotiating tactic, leading up to the new contract negotiations or not, that's a whole other conversation. But what I experienced was this, okay? We had, for example, somebody find a dog on Genesee Street walking around, just a person.
Yeah.
And they went up there with the dog, okay? And they were told, we don't take dogs from Utica.
Wow.
And the person said, but I'm not Utica. I'm not the city. I'm just a person. I found this dog. They were like, we are not going to accept that. Bring it to City Hall. That dog literally came to City Hall. I had to come downstairs. I photoed it. We had our animal control come. Animal control said sit. The dog sat. There was this. It had a collar on, and we obviously reunited that dog with the home with its owner. But if you want to cut the city off, fine. But they literally, had Good Samaritans going up there and they were turning them away.
So if somebody had said,
it's more than just a failed contract negotiation. That's why we put that in there. We just wanted to just put the statement out there so people understood and knew what really had happened. And that's all there is to it. I don't want to have a situation where, forever we could never use their services or something like that. But that's the reality of it right now. And as a city, we now have figured it out. And we're working with multiple different organizations. We're taking care of these animals. We're getting them the proper veterinary care, with the whole 9 yards. And not only that, we're revamping how our animal control officers deal with the process of finding stray dogs and how we are reuniting them with the owners, how we do our dog licensing, how we work with Wanderers Rest, how we work with other shelters that do fostering. It's really, really a positive thing moving forward.
All right. Well, we appreciate all that you're doing. And with regard to that, some success stories. You can find the full list at WIBX950.com of some of those success stories. And you can read a little bit of the mayor's statement there as well. Mayor Galimi, we always appreciate you coming on. It's refreshing. We've been told by somebody you've probably been on the show more in 6 months than Mayor Palmieri in his entire term. So thank you.
Well, you're very welcome, and have a great afternoon.
And you have a great Father's Day weekend.
Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, Mayor Mike Galimi, City of Utica, thank you so much. And we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back to wrap it up for the day.
Yep.
First News, Keeler in the morning on WIBX.
Ready to hit the road with confidence this summer? Look no further than Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, your one-stop shop for top-quality tires at unbeatable prices. At Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, we believe that safety and savings go hand in hand. That's why we offer the best prices up front on top brands, including Summit, Nokia, Bridgestone, and more. With Tallman's Tire and Auto Repair, you'll drive away with peace of mind and money in your pocket. Locations in Utica, Yorkville, Rome, and Herkimer, and online at tallmanstire.com.
Nobody wants to overpay for their next mattress. And at Mattress Express, not only do we give you up to 60 months to pay for anything in the store with no money down for qualified buyers, but you get our brand name low price guarantee. When you purchase a mattress at Mattress Express, if you see it advertised for less locally within 30 days of purchase, simply bring it to our attention and we refund the difference. That is peace of mind. Up to 60 months to pay with no money down for anything. Massage chairs, mattresses, adjustable bases. Simply spend $1,500 or more and qualify. And right now for our summer 4th of July blowout, get cash back prepaid Visa cards. Up to $300 on Tempur-Pedic sets, up to $200 on Stearns & Foster sets, and up to $100 on Sealy sets. Purple, save up to $400 on select Purple mattresses. Go to mattressexpressny.com for locations or call 1-800-NEW-BEDS, open 7 days a week.
I found a checking account that's just as interesting as my life. With America's new high-rate checking, I earn one of the highest rates available and still have access to my money when I need it. I even get paid a day early with direct deposit. AmeriQ connected me with more than a checking account. Visit AmeriQ.org to open a high-rate checking today. Membership eligibility is required, insured by NCUA.
If spring allergies keep you trapped inside, then you need Navage Nasal Care to keep you breathing clearly and enjoying all the beauties of spring. Navage helps clear nasal passages that are often clogged because of seasonal allergies. Navage gently flushes a pure, refreshing saline solution through your nasal passages to clear out congestion, sucking out that springtime pollen and other irritants trapped in your nose. Navage is available online at Navage.com or in stores at Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, Rite Aid, and Target. Navage, Navage.
Whitesboro Central School District is looking for bus drivers to join their team now. Whitesboro is a leading school system in central New York with 7 schools, 3,100 students, and a 92% graduation rate. You can help drive our students' success. When you drive for Whitesboro, you get pay that's based on your experience, great benefits, a flexible schedule, and summers off. Call Andy at 315-768-9740 or stop by the garage, 20 Wood Road, Whitesboro.
Keeler in the morning, Keeler in the morning.
This is Keeler in the morning. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Good morning. First news, Keeler in the morning and WIBX. Getting to the end of the program, and we want to thank all of our guests. Pretty decent show today, I would say.
Yeah.
Mr. Tim Reed.
As you say about yourself. It's important.
It was not me. It was the wonderful lineup of guests that we had.
Absolutely.
And you're sitting in and filling in, and I appreciate that tremendously, as always.
Well, listen, I just hope tonight that you guys are excited about being in second place. I think after the game.
You think you're gonna bring out the brooms in Beantown, huh?
No.
Oh,
Listen,
boy.
My expectations are set so low
that
anything good that happens, I'm fine. You guys, on the other hand, it's like the glass has not only got to be half full, it's got to be
It's got to be over the brim. Yes, Davey, what do you think? Predictions for tonight?
I think the Yankees are going to take 2 out of 3 from the Red Sox.
Okay. Bold prediction.
And the next 2 series for the Yankees are at home, begin Tuesday. Orioles, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Weekend series next weekend, the Atlanta Braves.
I know.
And then the Mets.
A tough road and then maybe some relief, but
it's a good thing Keeler isn't here when you said that one.
Yeah, well, he'll maybe hear it through the grapevine.
Yeah, but one thing, the Mets always play the Yankees.
And so do the Red Sox. Yeah. That's what worries me. They're in Fenway. They're at Fenway in Boston. Never an easy task, and it'll definitely be an exciting series. But I'll tell you,
Luis Heel is on the mound tonight.
That'll be
our star gem.
I love him.
Right
He's
now.
awesome. I just love watching him pitch. He's young and he's awesome, and his arm is just incredible.
When's Cole supposed to be back?
He's making a rehab start in Rochester. I'm seriously thinking
he might think he'd be this weekend, right? He might
tonight.
I'm saying he might be back in the rotation this weekend.
Yeah, no, not this weekend. They're saying after the week after.
So maybe for the Orioles or Braves.
Yeah.
Oh well, we'll need him.
And he's making he's making a rehab start in Rochester tonight.
All right. Well, let's hope we get him back.
You and Stefan can go out there.
Take a bus trip.
I saw Stefan last night. I went to my first Utica Blue Sox game.
Oh yeah, how was that?
It was
well attended.
It was an exhibition game against the Albany Athletics.
Yeah.
It was only 7 innings. It was fairly
quiet.
Yeah,
okay. All right. You're being nice is what you're saying.
But I did see Stefan, and he's like a celebrity there.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
I happened to be in the concession line getting a bottle of water, and the guy, hey, Stefan, hey, Stefan, hey, Stefan. I thought I was bad going places. Stefan's more popular than me.
He's the mayor of Murnane Field.
Right.
Mayor of Murnane. All right. Well, Davey, go Yankees. Tim Reed, we want to thank you so much for filling in and everything you do.
Glad
Real
to
men
do it,
get
man.
tested, and that's something that's really important that you and Bill have done.
Get
I'm
out
sure
there,
we'll
guys.
talk more about that in the weeks to come.
Yep.
And I want to thank you all for listening. As always, all you dads out there, have a wonderful Father's Day weekend. To my father, stepfather, and future father-in-law, happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to my dad in heaven.
There you go. All right. Back on Monday.
Paid for by GovMint.com.
Have you heard? A recent stash of 1904 Morgan silver dollar coins has been found. These gorgeous 1904 O silver dollar coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck. This is a key date for silver dollar collectors, and only a limited quantity are available. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone interested in silver coins. Just call Government at 1-800-222-1975, and you are guaranteed a mint condition 1904 O Morgan silver dollar featuring the iconic O mint mark of the New Orleans Mint. The final year of production, but with limited quantity, you must call now. These 1904 O silver coins are still in uncirculated condition. That is 117 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-222-1975. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-222-1975 now to secure your 1904 O Morgan silver dollars before they sell out. That's 1-800-222-1975.
Hey, if you have ugly yellow toe fungus, you gotta hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside